Hello? Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome on into stream. Let's take a moment to listen to a little more of this. Racing fan, how dare you? Ow! But anyways, welcome on into stream, guys. It's finally out, and it actually happened last week while I was in Megaplex. The Timeloop on Not For Broadcast is finally out, and I cannot wait to actually play this for once. With that said, let's see who we have in the chat. If you like a name called out, please shout yourselves out, otherwise shout out to the lurkers. Timidator, hello, how are you heckin' cute brute? Racing fan, how are you doing? Hey, it wasn't bad. Hush you. Racing fan, how are you doing? Also had Kichi, hello, how are you? Xylanth, how are you doing? It would be funny if you went live tomorrow and repeated the exact same stuff about oh my god. Shout out to lurkers in chat as well. You guys are absolutely amazing for stopping on by and showing that support. So, I do have a couple of announcements for those that missed it. You see that bar down below is my my donation goal for I kind of gave in on somebody else's request and actually registered, or at least filled out a registration form for Confuzzled 2025. The only problem with that actually happening is I'm living on Social Security. I don't have a job, and I don't have an actual source of payment other than Twitch and Social Security. And on top of that, my mortgage payments are still as bad as they are. So, you don't have to, but I actually made a command for this. It's !confuzzled. For more details on how to donate if you do have the spare change. I don't ask anybody to. The goal is just right here in case the inevitable does happen. Next, I will be dropping a bunch of games from my regular streaming lineup in the future. I will be announcing this on Sunday. Don't panic. I will share more details then. Last, most certainly not least, the giveaway for one more Winterpaw Canine will be made on Sunday as well. So there's that. Now, from my early examinations of this DLC, it looks like this one is more of the not the whole, how do I say this? It's not the whole every decision matters kind of deal. It's actually one of those kinds of things where it's like you're going on a linear path, on an epic journey for these kinds of things. So essentially what the National Nightly News has brought on, we're bringing on a guest. He's a scientist, and his assistant has stepped into the spotlight on the National Nightly News for a full-on all-nighter called The Night of Smiles. It centers around the scientist and his Euphoria device. And the problem with this Euphoria device, if you guys understand the title of this DLC, you'll probably understand where this is going. So let's just jump right into it. Here we go with the song again. I love this. I've been living in a paradise. It's awfully nice if you don't think twice. I've been living in a paradise ever since you made advances on me. I love it. How dare you, racing fan? It's time. Yes, it is, Foxy. Foxy and I actually like this. So yes, it is time. The return of the one, the only, Jeremy Donaldson.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight.
Do I still have my... I do. Okay, so everything's still here. Now...
Started! Starting!
Let's get started on this.
Every single one of you's a bit Jesus.
Let's get started on a little bit of a sci-fi journey, if you will.
Hydrate, you bastard! Hydrate!
And there it is, Foxy. Thank you so much for the hydration. Sip, sip.
Blunt question.
While we're here, can we please get a shout-out going for DJ Foxy Official, please? Like, using the / shout-out command this time.
Friends and neighbours, and have confidence that the team will keep you safe.
But now you start to see, yes? The people never happy. It's never enough.
Thank you, whoever did that. Let's get this show on the road, shall we?
I've told you 1,000 times, Chester. It's the number of blind dates I've been on when no one turned up, followed by the worrying number of lumps under my left arm, the date my childhood sweetheart married my best friend, the age my cat was when I ran
you 1,000 times, Chester.
The number of blind dates I've been on when no one turned up.
We shall get this going. The bad news... Bah! Hi, Slushy. How are you? So good to see you. I can't wait for this. Nice. Oh, what's this? Oh, I'm gonna have fun with this later. Oh, someone's calling.
Winston, lovely of you to volunteer.
Oh,
for all
these.
nighter. I'll be with you for the first
Okay, what do we got
section,
here?
then I'm off.
The Spy Who Spied Me, Spy Stories, Friendship by Jeff Algebra.
Usual stuff for this one. Keep the show on the road.
You know what? I'm gonna restart. I do need to replay that call because, of course, Bozeman has some important things to say, and I kind of interrupted him. So, let's hear what he has to say first. What you got at the dealer's den at Megaplex? I'm gonna pause right here so I can actually share with you guys. There is a plush doll of a pug that I got from, I'm trying to remember the exact dealer, but there was a dealer next to, right across from Corgi Beans. It's not Corgi Beans themselves, it's a different dealer. I'm trying to remember the name of it off the top of my head for the life of me. But I also got a shirt from this shirt, Soda Pop it is. I'm trying to remember exactly which dealer it was too. That's the hard bit. Oh, so it does randomize here. Canine detective. He's a cop and a good boy. He's a cop and a good boy. Friends. Am I a good bean? Am I a good boy? Taste of Hell featuring Jordan Rankley. Where is Dave? Where are they now? And Naked Circus. Okay. Would you even watch those? Anyways, here's Bozeman.
Winston, lovely of you to volunteer for an all-nighter. I'll be with you for the first section, but then I'm off. Got tickets for Smiling Toots Johnson and his jazz fandango. Usual stuff for this one. Keep the show on the road and keep the edit snappy. Should be a big night.
I've told you 1,000 times.
Okay.
Chester. It's the number of blind dates I've been on when no one has turned up, followed by the worrying number of lumps under my left arm, the date my childhood sweetheart married my best friend, the age my cat was.
Thank you for donating to the Melba Soda Challenge. 25,000 total, and I will be trying the next Melba's Fixin' Soda with my brother-in-law.
If you could just sit here, please, Dr. Magnus. The host will be with you shortly.
Not you, sorry.
Leave that alone, please, Colin.
Don't like it, because you need babies.
What, science?
Don't like it. What doesn't Colin like?
Science, apparently.
Oh, good job there's none here then.
Jeremy, this is Dr. Charles Magnus.
Is he though? Jeremy Donaldson, professional cynic.
All the best minds are.
He's just being modest. He's also a curmudgeon.
Your word of the day calendar.
Huh.
Sorry I'm late. Phone call. Professor Magnus.
Doctor, apparently.
Either is fine.
Unless you need surgery.
I beg your pardon?
Unless you need surgery, how in the hell?
5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. It's the 13th of March 1985, and this is a Channel 1 special event hosted by your national nightly news team.
In a laboratory nestled in the sleepy hills of Chettlebury, Dr. Charles Magnus and his optimistically named Happiness Collective have been working on a secret project.
They claim their Euphoria device will raise overall happiness levels throughout the country. Tonight, live on Channel 1, we'll be putting that claim to the test.
We'll be in and out the schedule flowing with our team of reporters standing by up and down the country to report live on whether the device has brought a smile to your faces.
We'll have guests from the world of science, politics,
Yes,
and
they're back.
entertainment, and of course, those all-important results.
So don't move that dial, stick with Channel 1 all evening as we bring you The Night of Smiles.
Let's do this. Nice new theme for the National Nightly News, or at least for this occasion. How about a version of Not the Broadcast where every time the main character's name is mentioned is changed to Wow! What the hell, man?
Welcome back. In just a few minutes, the impressive machine behind me will be activated in the first ever mass experiment of its type. But first, let's meet the man behind the merriment, Dr. Charles Magnus.
Hello.
Charles Magnus.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. You're the leader of the Happiness Collective, as I understand.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
So how's that work then, being the leader of a collective?
Well, I suppose...
Dr. Magnus, how does your Euphoria device work?
Oh, that's simple. I just get my assistant Chester to push the big red button.
That's
So
not
what does
helpful.
it actually do?
It makes people happier, Mr. Donaldson.
Yes, and how does it do that?
Well, some of that information is proprietary, but I could try and explain the basics.
Oh, well, we've not got long now, Doc, so try not to get too into the weeds.
Well, to put it simply, everything is vibration. Everything is vibrating. A particle is also a wave, and a wave is, if you like, a note. And we all vibrate at different notes depending on our mood. Happier people vibrate at a higher frequency than sad people, for example.
Is that true? How are we measuring that?
In music,
Yeah, Jeremy's
there's a
definitely the
concept
skeptic
called
here.
resonance. When a note on a piano is played, corresponding strings also sound. They vibrate in resonance. Are you following me so far?
Yes, I have...
Foxy would probably follow that.
And physics?
Yes, in both. Yes.
Well, the Euphoria device works in much the same way. The machine generates a note that represents happiness, and all the people and the animals resonate with that note and feel happier, noticeably, measurably. Well, at least that's the hope.
So, what you're saying is that for unprecedented amounts of public money, running into the tens of millions, you've built a giant piano that only plays one note.
Yes, but it's a very powerful note. And this is the only instrument that can play it.
There is less than a minute to go now, so while we go and get set up with Chester and yourself over at the Euphoria device, we can go live to the new Advance HQ for a special message from the Prime Ministers, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury.
Good evening, everybody.
Admittedly,
On behalf of
I
Advance,
do
Julie and I
despise
just wanted
these
to wish
two,
all
at
of
least
you
in terms of the main
very best
story.
of luck with tonight's groundbreaking
It started off
film.
nice, but then it turned sour for me.
I just knew it deserved to be funded. After all,
If you
what
couldn't
could
tell, I'm
possibly
more
be
of a
better
disrupt
than
kind of guy.
increased happiness?
Now, I'll admit, I was a little skeptical, but the lab results are promising, and I'm reliably informed it'll even work on this estate.
So it's a big well done from us to Dr. Magnus and the entire team at the Happiness Collective.
So, as my old man used to say, It's time to stop twatting about and get the gimlet frothing.
Wow. Good luck, everybody. Back to the studio.
Fantastic, the Prime Minister's
Yes,
there.
let's go.
And of course, without the funding from the Assets and Wealth Fund.
We'd still be making prototypes out of sticks.
And you are Chester.
Chester Mims, 24. My allergies include nuts, macrame furniture, and liquids with a viscosity over 200 centipoise. I've been Dr. Magnus's assistant for...
That's a bit of an overshare, don't you think?
Yes. He called me his right-hand man.
I do not.
He called me his right-hand man.
Well, that's enough lab banter for now. Let's see if this ridiculous contraption actually works, shall we?
Yes, I think we can get a counter on the screen.
Oh boy.
And we're going in 10.
10,
9,
8,
7,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Winston, I can sense movement down there. I know you're stuck in this with me. Now, it's just a guess, but I think time itself has frozen. However, when it did, this press in case of emergency button the scientist gave me started flashing. And I think it corresponds with the one you have down there in the broadcast room, on that weird-looking machine to your left. I'll press mine now, and let's see if that gets yours working.
So this is going to be interesting when it gets through. We'll explain as we go, but this is going to be interesting as we get to it. But here, let me hold off and pause while this ad plays so that we can get you guys up to speed on what happens. You don't want to miss a thing. For those subscribed or with Twitch Turbo, how are you guys doing, by the way? You guys chilling? You guys vibing? Guys just enjoying yourselves for the most part? Kind of doodling all day. That's probably going to be me, maybe tomorrow, dependent on how this soda thing goes. Welcome back from the ads, guys. You were caught in the midst of suspense as suddenly the window next to me just suddenly crashed in front of my eyes, and then just time stopped. Literally, nothing moved in front of my face. So, apparently, Bozeman hit a button, and now my big red button's open. So we'll get to that, but first, a little something from DJ Foxy we like to call earwaggles. Yeah, I can't do that all day, otherwise I kind of overdo it. Let's get back into it. Press this red button, see what happens. Huh. The time loop again, huh?
Winston, lovely of you to volunteer for an all-nighter. I'll be with you for the first section, but then I'm off.
Not for broadcast the sequel.
Toots Johnson and his jazz fandango. Does this all seem a little familiar to you, Alex? For the last few hours, I've been having a weird sensation of deja vu. Strange. Maybe I need a snack? Well, good luck with the show.
Then there's Titwank Tony. Way reflection
it's the number
hour.
Of blind dates I've been on when no one has turned up, followed by the worrying number of lumps under my left arm, the date my childhood sweetheart married my best friend,
What?
the age my cat was when I ran him over.
Didn't I just see
the number
this?
of conversations I've had with my father, and the exact time my mother walked out. Honestly, I don't see why it's so hard for you to remember.
If you could just
Hang on, this is extremely familiar.
Me too, Bozeman, me too.
Leave that alone, please, Colin.
Don't like it. Gives me heebie-jeebies.
What does science?
Don't like it.
What doesn't Colin like?
Science, apparently.
Oh, good job there's none here then.
Jeremy, this is Dr. Charles Magnus.
Yeah, I've got screaming kids in the background, don't mind me.
Professional cynic.
All the best minds are.
He's just being modest. He's also a curmudgeon.
your word of the day calendar.
Oh, sorry I'm late. Phone call. Professor Magnus.
Doctor,
This is still
apparently-
very. This is still
Unless
just.
you need surgery.
What the hell?
I beg your pardon?
It's time for a special event.
Going in 5,
Scheduled
4,
away for a night of
3.
smiles with Jeremy Donaldson.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. It's the 13th of March 1985, and this is a Channel 1 special
Yesterday
event
was the
hosted
13th
by
of
your
March.
National Nightly News team.
In a laboratory nestled in
We
the
ju-
sleeping
yeah, we
halls
just
of Canterbury,
did this day
Charles
already.
Magnus and his optimistically named happiness.
Okay, we are definitely doing the same thing again,
They
Winston.
claim their
And I didn't enjoy it much the
device
first
will
time.
raise overall
Much
happiness
as I hate to
levels
admit
throughout
it,
the
because,
country.
and I want to make this
Tonight's live on Channel
absolutely
1,
clear,
David Christensen
I
claims
hate
the test.
science
They'll be
fiction.
handing out the
I
schedule
think something has gone wrong with the chronological order of reality, and we appear to be repeating ourselves. If only there were a name for such a phenomenon. When time seems to be looping. There must be some sort of snappy.
I'll stick with Channel 1 or anything.
Can't think of
We'll bring
anything.
you
Maybe it'll come to me later.
Smiles.
Got it. We'll call this a time loop. Brilliant name, Robert. You've done it again. I should have that trademark. Yes, time loop. Time loop. Time. Bit boring, isn't it, Winston? The event, I mean, not the name, which is snappy and totally original. But you know, this, just watching the same thing. Winston, I have a big red button up here. I'm going to push it. Let's see what happens. Ah, it made your big button light up. Push your big red button, Alex, and let's see what it does.
Sorry, guys.
Okay, so your button also stops time. Interesting. Right, we've all read enough science fiction nonsense to understand what's happening here. We're clearly going to keep repeating this day again and again until we find a way to break the loop. God, I hope we don't have to go on a journey of self-discovery full of profound insights that lead to personal growth. I have a gig to get to. Leave this with me. I have a brilliant idea. Restart the loop by pressing that big red button again and leave the rest to me.
Okay, Alice, hello. How are you doing? So good to see you. The other thing I want to bring up is it.
It's that big machine on your left.
Bozeman, please. Speaking of Bozeman, here's a little fun fact for you. Bozeman is actually voiced by one of the developers at Not for Broadcast, whose name just so happens to match the name of a star tennis player. Not coincidental. So anyways, I guess next loop.
Ah, Winston, back with me now. While I was waiting for you to get back to me in the loop, I enacted the solution to our little time-getting-stuck conundrum. There is absolutely no way that button will be pressed again.
I'm going to stop there for a minute and respond to DJ Foxy. I hope that was a hint at some sort of sequel, please, Tiny Build. The thing with British comedy is sometimes they do like to have a little bit of parody here and there. I've actually had a couple of people in the Not for Broadcast Discord actually ask this question to the devs and ask will there be a sequel. They've even said it then, and the same answer is true today. The answer is no, for many reasons. That reason being, the current version of Not for Broadcast currently just has like all these big endings, and with the vast range of the endings, chances are a sequel just doesn't feel right. However, what we can share is that Not Games is actually working on another FMV game. We do not know the details of it yet, but we'll find out as soon as we get them.
So the loop won't repeat, and the ghastly problem has been nipped in the bud before anything too ridiculous happens. I don't want to brag here, Alex, but the solution I found is as elegant as it is simple. A lesser mind would probably have struggled even to conceive of such a notion, but to me, Bob Bozeman, it was as obvious as wearing a tie on a Sunday afternoon. I have, and this is the brilliant part, unplugged the machine. Now, watch and learn.
I've told you 1,000 times, Chester. It's the number of blind dates I've been on when no one's turned up, followed by the worrying number of lumps under my left arm, the date my childhood sweetheart married my best friend, the age my cat was when I ran him over, the number of conversations I've had with my father, and the exact time my mother walked out. Honestly, I don't see why that's so hard for you to remember.
If you could just sit here, please, Dr. Magnus. The host will be with you.
Colin, what are you doing?
It's all going to plan.
Dr. Magnus.
Leave that alone, please, Colin.
There's something wrong here.
No, it's fine, Colin.
You can feel it. Is this like the day that you could feel that the mayor of Fiddleshire was some sort of bird person?
No, this is different. Something's fishy.
Colin.
Ah. Here we go.
No! My plan! It was foolproof!
There we go. Good news.
Colin,
Well, that was brilliant.
Well, I think it's fairly obvious that did not go to plan, but no point dwelling on who's at fault for what. Let's focus on the task at hand. We'll look at the problem together this time, Alex, and I'm sure we'll come up with the solve. So, I've given you this newfangled pad of mine. It was a gift from the Happiness Collective. Hopefully you noticed it last loop. Apparently, when I write up here...
Yep, foolproof but not oblivious proof.
Which is brilliant. But as far as the science behind it goes, it may as well be magic as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, I'll write down some ideas for plans, and if you just select them on your pad, I'll make sure we implement them for the next loop. Give it a go now.
Okay, I don't like the second one. It's literally just phoning in something that is obviously faked. The other one, on the other hand, might be a decent idea because then we reject him. He doesn't get the detention he deserves, and he never gets his opportunity to loop. No problem solved, right? Let's find. If anybody else agrees with me to cancel the show, then I won't agree. I won't disagree with that either. I swear to God. Ah! Hi, Malachi. How are you doing? So good to see you. Yeah, I think yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna commit to it.
They can't press the button if they aren't doing the experiment, and I've got the perfect replacement show. Right, I've pressed my button up here. If you're happy with your
Thank
choice,
you for the head pats,
just press your red
Foxy.
button on the contraption to your left, and it should reset the loop for us. Then I'll get to work.
With the best of intentions, what could possibly go wrong? True, right? My hope is that Dr. Magnus never gets his button opportunity. Let's find out if that's the case.
I know what you're thinking, Alex. What possible merit could the Cat Football Cup have being on Channel 1? And of course, the answer is they were available, and it gets us out of this damn time loop.
No, they take it very seriously.
Oh, of course they do.
Apparently, they hate each other.
Oh, of course they do.
Oh, so the device isn't even here. I still have my thing.
Sorry, I'm late. Verbal.
Apparently, they hate each other.
They do. They absolutely do hate each other.
Oh, well, this should be
The hatred. The absolute hatred.
The pseudosciences defended the Hammerman's lot on Channel 3.
What's that now?
Boys should be
What?
congratulated on possibly finding something that's even worse.
She's not a cat person.
I'm not a pet person.
I always assumed you'd keep fish.
Domestic parasites.
10 seconds. What, fish?
No, all
What
the
the
hairy
hell?
terrorists.
So wait,
Going in 5.
the scientists went elsewhere?
3.
Dive into the wonderful world of sport.
Good evening, viewers of Channel 1, and welcome to this National Nightly News special event.
Tonight, for one night only, we're bringing you everything you need to know about this year's Cat Football Cup final.
We'll have interviews with the coaches, managers, and even the star players. Not quite sure how it's going to work, but I guess we'll find out.
Our roving team of reporters have been tucked away up and down the country to bring you live reactions and pre-match feedback.
And, of course, at 9 we'll have all the action of the match itself, live, right here on Channel 1.
So don't go changing that channel. It's going to be perfect here on Channel 1.
Yup. We did a programming change.
I had to knock these titles together in a bit of a hurry, but I'm actually quite happy with how they turned out.
gonna be fun.
Welcome back. I'm delighted
Yes,
to be
I
joined
forgot British
by
football.
the
That'd be
two
somehow
managers
cats kicking
of
field goals and
tonight's
tackling each other.
football final. And I believe
I
you're
know,
also the
right?
managers.
And the owners.
Yes.
And I would imagine most of the spectators.
Let's start with you. Felicity.
Snippety Whippet. Felicity Snippety Whippet. I am the manager, coach, owner, spiritual guide and muse for my team, the inimitable little Smallington Big Paws.
That's a name that gives you pause for thought.
It's a family name, actually. The Big Paws have legacy, unlike those so-called fluffers.
The Slingtown Fluffers have plied their skills against
Oh,
superior teams.
the rivalry.
And always achieve proud ends. Tonight should be no different. Expect a tumescent trouncing, Fliss.
Felicity. Felicity, as well you know.
Yup, drama in the newsroom.
Oh, well, let's just take a moment to breathe. I can see we're both keen competitors, but let's try and keep a friendly atmosphere.
Of course, apologies. Montgomery Ford.
Fluffer Ghost
manager of
Cat
the
called,
Fluffers,
yes.
and soon to be proud fondler of the Cat Football Cup. A man more sinned against than sinning.
Oh. The Big Paws will hold the cup. We've been training all season and we're not slowing down at the finish line. You stand as much chance of winning the cup as Professor Tiddles does of winning a beauty pageant.
You take that back. You know Professor Tiddles only sprouted that blemish because you tried to poison him.
I would never harm a cat.
The call-out's happening.
Graceful.
The call-outs are
elegant,
happening.
Everything you should strive to be.
I think the sprightly Mercutio I performed in my mess-bent youth would beg to disagree. Besides, your centre-forward has mange.
Oh, have you glanced at your team recently? They're more verbal than fancy footwork, and their teamwork is so chaotic it's like playing against dogs.
You take that back.
Never. In fact, I'll go further.
You take
Your
that
team
back.
is lazy, disorganized, and matted. You'd have done better to get them all spayed.
Well, we seem to be a whisker away from a fist fight here.
Will you stop with the cat puns?
I concur. If we could all just calm down, please.
Can't stop meow. I've got too
Megan,
many of these.
you're making it worse.
Both of you. I have a question. Cats. They're pointless, really, aren't they?
Okay, never mind.
So, I was right. It turns out that when I turned down the Euphoria experiment for Channel 1, Channel 3 decided they'd make room.
Fucking Hammerman.
Went ahead as planned. And, well, unless they have their own Alex Winston to press that red button, we may be stuck here forever. But assuming we're not, let's talk about next time round. I suppose if we're going
They were
to be
about to get
stuck here,
jumped,
we may
indeed.
well get to know each other.
And for the pair of them, since I'm on
Did you know
Homestar,
that I like mushroom?
looks like they're gonna have to jump.
Dew on your face in the hills of the Cotsdowns, or a brisk autumn morn. Although, to be honest, some of those I can kind of take or leave. Oh, here's another one. Did you know that I love
Yep, the claws were coming out. Wanted to see a 2v2 fight in the newsroom? Oh, yeah, unfortunately. I mean, Bozeman does like jazz.
question for you. Do you like the feeling when a man you don't know particularly well brushes against you in the corridor and suddenly you feel a stirring in the...
Oh, what the hell?
Oh, thank goodness. You were starting to get a little strange there, Alex. Let's just move on. Less said, the better. They must have reset time at 3. Didn't think Dorothy Hammerman had it in her. But anyway, I have to confess, Winston, I had a bit of fun with this one.
Let's go again.
It had to be something serious enough to actually empty the studio, but not so serious that people would be worried once they were safely away. And then, my eureka moment. I put on a strange voice and called in a bomb threat. Brilliant, isn't it? They've evacuated the whole building. Now, all we have to do is simply wait and...
Huh? Huh. Interesting. Perkins, hello, how are you doing? So good to see you.
All we've done here is delay the inevitable, I feel. Won't they just come back up and
Oh,
press
of
the
course.
button later?
Of course, the Tater Tot donates as well.
Short-sighted ideas, Alex. Not to worry, we'll fix it for the next loop. Speaking of, is that your old replacement cleaning the studio now? I wonder if they'll clean the...
Oh boy.
I'm going to fire that cleaner, but in the meantime, I have a better idea, and it's guaranteed to work.
You sure it's gonna work, Bozeman? These last few ideas weren't working, so why try this one instead? Alright, let's go again, see what happens.
Nerd.
Full disclosure here, Winston.
Yep. Hold on.
I've told you 1,000 times, Chester. It's the number of blind dates I've been on when no one's turned up.
Yep, there goes a little one.
Under my left arm. The date my... Why is my machine covered up?
If you could just sit here, please. Dr.
Someone
Magnus.
has covered up my machine. You there.
Me?
Why have you covered up my device?
Not me, mate. I do sound. I agree that it just feels wrong, doesn't it?
There's nothing suspicious. Bozeman just wants to do a big reveal. Perhaps Chester
Big
would
reveal,
like
huh?
Really? Can I?
Oh, if you must. Try not to injure yourself.
Yes, Dr. Magnus.
Everything set?
Just a small change. We're going to do a big reveal.
Sorry, I'm late. Leaky gusset. Where do you want me?
Over there with Chester.
Chester Mims 24. My favourite odours are cinnamon, pine leaves, and of course...
I'll stop for ads. Those of you watching on YouTube, welcome to what it feels like to be a Twitch streamer. You gotta stop just every few seconds to let the people with the... to let the people inside ads go through those ads. Also, Jamote, hello, how are you doing? So good to see you for your first time chat. Yes, welcome on in for a fellow member of the Not for Broadcast Discord, Jamote Dev. Hello, how are you doing? So good to see you. Hope you're enjoying the time loop as much as I am right now. And, yeah, this part's gonna be fun.
Yogurt. Okay. Preferably 7 months old if possible.
You'll have to forgive Chester.
Gives it a good nose.
He takes personality advice from women's magazines.
Oh, we had a makeup artist that did that.
Really?
She's dead now.
So, who's opening?
Just trim it down and through to Megan.
I'm only joking. She's not
Feel like
dead.
we've been here. Oh, God. Yup, this is what the time loop's all about.
10 seconds.
And now
She could
on
be
Channel
dead.
1, it's time for
I
a
wouldn't know.
special event.
On launch.
Going in 5,
Let's get
4,
away for another
Play through on launch, yeah.
Jeremy Donaldson and Megan Wolf.
Good evening. It's March the 13th, 1985, and you join us for a National Nightly News special event. Dr. Charles Magnus and his tritely named team have been building a machine which they claim will raise overall happiness levels throughout the country. Sounds ludicrous to me. Megan?
Thanks, Jeremy. I am here with Chester Mims, Dr. Magnus's assistant.
Right-hand man.
Sorry?
Right-hand man. He calls me his right-hand man.
I do not!
He does, sometimes.
Well, Chester, without any further ado, let's unveil this Euphoria device. I'm excited, actually. You excited, Chester?
Not really, I've seen the device before.
Okay, let's go for it, everybody. In
3, 2, 1. Chester, what the hell?
For goodness sake, Chester.
It's a little larger than I anticipated.
Minds, come on. Equal and opposite force. And upwards.
Yes, no.
Yes. Never mind. That was
Loon Mark, thank you for the raid. How was Minecraft? Mars. Can we get a shout out going for 18 Loon, please? For those that don't know who I am, hello there, I am Jalen Barks, a variety gamer here on Twitch with a focus on platforming, racing, and puzzle games, with the last one being the aspect of this DLC here called Not for Broadcast, The Time Loop. I'm stuck in a time loop. Please help. If you guys like what you see and want to see more, please consider hitting that follow button. It means a lot, and to get notified of live next. I don't just play not for broadcast. The list of games I do play can be found down below where it says games, and yes, that list is long.
Oh, God, my eye! My device! God, my eye! What's happened?
Oh, what the hell, Bozeman? You did a number. You definitely did a number on
It
that.
appears we'll be having a change of schedule here tonight on Channel 1. Perhaps there's another experiment we can get up and running. We could see if badgers can flip pancakes or work out exactly how much stupid there is.
We're cancelling the experiment?
Of course not, Chester.
What?
It's fine, it's fine. We have another device back at the laboratory in Chindlebury. I'm sure Gerald is watching this now, and if he does, he was expecting there might be some teething problems. He can just fire up that one, and off we go. Gerald, if you're watching, we will fire it up now, please. Thank
Well,
you.
that is handy.
Well, that's annoying.
It appears the
That is a
experiment will be
nuisance
proceeding
indeed.
anyway, if untelevised. So here's hoping we all crack a smile sometime soon.
Oh, terrific.
Joy.
Only takes a few seconds to charge up the new device, and then Gerald will just...
Happy New Year, guys. Yeah.
Okay, this is starting to get irritating. I have tickets
Oh,
for Smiling
jeez.
Toots Johnson, for God's sake. I'll be damned if I'm going to miss it. So what have we learned? We can't cancel the show in any way, or they'll do it on another channel. We can't break the device. They'll just use the backup. So, if we can't nobble the machine, we'll have to nobble the show somehow. I've got a few options to consider. We could put a guard on the machine so it can't be used, or we could change up the hosts and see if we can break the show that way. Or, I suppose, we could let everyone know what's going on and see if we can stop it happening again. Which do you want to do, Winston?
Censor? I don't know if censor's gonna work. It's more of a visual thing, to be honest. Censor button's not even gonna do anything to stop that explosion from happening. But these ideas from Bozeman, though. Let's see what happens. I mean, I doubt this one will work. Let's try it anyways.
If we tell everyone we're getting stuck in a time loop, they'll be sure not to press that button.
Sure, why not? Let's aim for the best. It's only the audience that's gonna hear the censor. Yeah, exactly. The problems of not having soundproofing.
In the studio, leave this to me. I'm a master of explanation and negotiation.
I've told you 1,000 times, Chester. It's the number of blind dates I've been on when no one turned up, followed by the worrying number of lumps under my left arm, the date my childhood sweetheart married my best friend, the age my cat was when I ran him over, the number of conversations I've had with my father, and the exact time my mother walked out. Honestly, I don't see why that's so hard for you to remember.
If you could just sit here, please, Dr. Magnus. The host will be with you shortly.
Yes. Not you.
Sorry, Dr. Magnus.
Leave that alone, please, Colin.
Colin, that's my mindset as well.
At the time, I accidentally ate a load of acid instead of my banana sandwich.
We've all been there, Colin.
Jeremy, this is Dr. Magnus. He is the scientist.
Attention, National Nightly News team. Please gather everybody by the sofas.
Sorry, I'm late. Unstable cat. Was that Bozeman?
This is Bozeman.
Is this a drill?
This is not a drill.
Right, okay, Chester, if you could please join us on the sofas.
And the crew, please. I'm on my way down.
Colin, the only normal one in this place.
crew,
Yeah.
Jeremy Donaldson and Megan Wolf.
What idea? Is it someone's birthday? Anyone?
Right, I've gathered you all here because I'm afraid I have to tell you something that's going to be hard to comprehend. For all of you, this is a normal day. But for Alex, Winston, and I, it is repeating over and over again. We are trapped in some sort of time loop. And it always begins when someone presses the button on that infernal machine over there.
The Euphoria device? Impossible. Temporal attunement ironed out all the problems with the time circuitry months ago.
I'm sorry, are you quite all right, Robert?
Roll
Fine,
credits.
Jeremy. Look, I know this is hard to accept, but if you'll just
Not for
listen...
me.
What's that, Colin?
Not my first time. Been caught in a couple of these.
You're experienced with time loops, Colin.
Oh yeah, Spong's always getting caught up in stuff like this. Time loops, multiverses. Standard Wednesday. I'm pretty much immune to this stuff now.
I'm sorry, are we choosing to believe this?
Of course not. There's no such thing as a time loop. It's impossible.
It throws up too many paradoxes.
Exactly. Too many paradoxes. It's an impossibility.
Well, it may be an impossibility, but Winston and I are trapped in one right now.
Well, it can't be our machine. We haven't even started it up yet.
Yes, and that's exactly how it's going to stay.
What, you're cancelling the show?
We're already live, I believe.
Yes, a few minutes now. Yes.
I'm sorry, the viewing public are currently watching you have a massive nervous breakdown. That can't be good.
Can we get security up here, please?
Yes, and a doctor.
Is everything okay at home, Mr. Bozeman?
Yes, everything is okay at home. I'm telling you, that machine is going to break reality itself.
That's also impossible.
The Department of Metaversal Stability fixed that issue months ago.
This machine is totally safe. I will prove it to you.
Oh, no, you don't.
Oh, Mr. Bozeman, stop.
Is everything all right here, Mr. Bozeman?
Help me restrain this man.
Is
I
this...
think he's having an episode.
Standard time loop stuff. This never works.
Why don't you believe me?
Could you let
Thank
me
you,
get
thank you,
go,
Colin,
please?
No.
for affirming my
don't understand.
suspicions.
Why don't you let him go, Robert, and we can go have a little chat about it?
We don't need a little chat. Oh, for God's sake.
I don't know what sort of operation you clowns think you're running here, but if you think you can stand in the way of science, you've got another thing coming.
Well, I tried. Okay, carry on then. I'm going back to my office.
If you could just come with us for a moment, sir.
Of course.
Okay, everyone, back to your places, please. Back to your places, please.
Well, that just
Save
spooked
this.
everybody.
Save this.
Well, firstly, an apology to our viewers at home who've had to witness, well, what just happened. Our boss has been having a breakdown on national television. Personally, I can't think of anything more mortifying, but I can assure you he will receive the best possible care.
After him! He's heading for the stairs!
Meanwhile, everyone here feels a bit upset, so now
Of
would be
course.
a perfect time
That
to
is
test
surprising
the,
to them.
to test the device, which makes the unlikely claim of being able to cheer everybody up.
Happy New
Dr.
Year,
Magnus?
guys.
Yes.
Actually, the machine uses resonance to raise the...
No one cares, Chester.
Yes, Happy New Year, guys.
They're all idiots. It's us against the world. Just give me a moment. Okay. Go ahead when you're ready, Winston.
Think about it. Okay, so telling everyone apparently doesn't work. Thanks a lot, Colin. How would they know if they are in the loop? Well, the only thing that, without being in one yourself, well, the whole thing behind this is similar to Groundhog Day, where the person who is stuck in the time loop is the only one that remembers and has knowledge of all the loops to actually either better themselves or to better another person. I feel like where this is heading is that we're going to try and better someone inside that newsroom, but who, we have no idea. Because the only person I can think of that could possibly go that route is the scientist himself, Dr. Magnus, with all those tragedies inside that, whatever he's saying to Chester. But then question, what's up? I can definitely pick the next one, but I'll have to answer it before the next loop starts.
The problem is people pressing the button, so we hire someone to stop that from happening.
Which option would best help that situation? I doubt I really just doubt any of them will work. Usually when it comes to these types of these types of film tropes, it's usually trying to better yourself and hopefully finding something that would work. Really, the only thing I can see that these devs are trying to do is delay the inevitable final solution from actually happening. Phil on Groundhog Day, yes.
Lovely chap. Didn't have a lot of experience, but he seems enthusiastic, and that's the most important thing.
I've told you 1,000 times, Chester. It's the number of blind dates I've been on.
Okay, so Jamote, we were some of us even seen some films. Some of us are just comparing us to Groundhog Day, the movie, which surprisingly is part of the one of the original movies that did the whole time loop trope. And yes, Phil in that film, played by Mr. Bill Murray, did in fact at one point during one of the loops try to jump off a cliff.
Once turned up, followed by the worrying number of lumps under my left arm and... Excuse me, who's that?
If you could sit here, please, Dr. Magnus. The host will be with you shortly.
Yeah, Jamote, you may have forgotten.
Sorry, Dr. Magnus.
Leave that alone, please, Colin.
Who are you? Well, stay away from the device, sir.
All right, mate. Keep your hair on. You're on your bed
Sonny
anyway.
and Shares, I Got You, Babe, playing on the radio.
Jenny,
Oh
why is
my
there an old man in
god.
my studio?
Who are you?
Oh, hi, I'm Andy. Drop Dead Security.
Unfortunate name.
Yeah, I was thinking of changing
Drop
it.
Dead Security.
Who is this?
It's never gonna work.
What, to protect the device? He's been really invested in it, insisted on briefing in person.
You know how to use it?
I did.
You don't sound very sure about that.
Oh, what? It's fine, right? I took a course.
3 months?
2 days.
Brilliant.
10 seconds, everybody. You okay?
Now on Channel
hate
1,
guns.
it's time for a special event.
Of course he does.
Throwing the regular
4,
schedule away for
3.
a night of smiles with Jeremy Donaldson and Megan.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. It's the 13th of March 1985 and this is a Channel 1 special event hosted by your national...
Yes, the hydration reminder. Thank you for letting me know. Sip, sip.
Nightly News team.
In a laboratory nestled in the sleepy hills of Chittlebury, Dr. Charles Magnus and his optimistically named Happiness Collective have been working on a secret project.
They claim their Euphoria device will raise overall happiness levels throughout the country. Tonight, live on Channel 1, we'll be putting that claim to the test.
We'll be in and out of the schedule.
God, sorry again. Yeah.
In and out of the schedule.
No. Oh, sorry, I think it's my allergies. I think it's my allergies. I'm really playing up today.
We're on and off all night. Your go.
We'll have guests from the world of science, politics and entertainment, and of course, those all-important results.
So don't change that channel. Stick with Channel 1 or
No, it's getting worse. I think it might be your perfume. I think it's her perfume.
Right, I noticed you managed to hold it together through Megan's line.
What? Oh, sorry, mate. I think my ears are swelling.
Well, good luck with that. It's the night of smiles.
Night of smiles.
Roll the time.
The guard isn't gonna work. I'm the same situation. I'm the same thing here, Nate. Don't we love the titles? Yes, we do.
I feel a certain sympathy for Chester. Magnus seems to enjoy torturing him with impossibly convoluted maths problems.
Where we're probably going to end up with soon, if we think about this very carefully.
Welcome to the Night of Smiles. In just a few minutes, the impressive machine behind me will be activated in the first ever mass test of its type. So let's meet the man behind the merriment, Dr. Charles Magnus.
Dr. Magnus, thank you for joining us. I understand you're the leader of the Happiness Collective, is that right?
Dr. Magnus?
Excuse me, young man. Excuse me, young man. Yes. Did you say it was your job to stop the big red button being pressed?
Yeah, pretty much sums it up, yeah.
You do realise I built that machine?
Oh, I don't know anything about the science of it. No, don't come too close, though.
I have spent my entire adult life trying to make everyone in the world, including myself, happier. That's a noble aim, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's lovely, that. Well done.
Thanks.
Well done,
The
he
thing
says.
is, to bring my work, my life's work, to completion, I need to press that button. Do you understand me, Andy?
Yeah, but the thing is, I can't have you doing that, see?
This is ridiculous.
Just realising that now, are we?
I'm sorry, Andy. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going out live right now, and the whole point of this segment is that it culminates in
Bozeman, please help me here.
know what our boss has told you, but you must have misunderstood because he would never sabotage this show.
Just follow your orders, Andy.
Yes, just do your job.
I'm gonna have these put in everywhere.
Right, stay back. Stay back. I'm drawing my gun, right? Stop.
Andy!
Well, that didn't work.
Blithering idiot. The police can keep him. Bloody fool can't guard a bloody button. This is what happens when there's no time for a proper candidate selection process. I've always said it. Just pick another one.
So, I've seen a lot of players go straight for this option, having the people behind the camera go first. But I'm going to do something different. Let's try the experienced people first, and then fuck up the show.
Well, if nothing else, I'm sure Bannon will be able to annoy Magnus out of doing the experiment. Even Short won't be enough to rein him in.
Yeah, let's see if the reporters can actually do stuff instead.
I also got Jenny out. Let's avoid a repeat of that Andy incident.
Yep, he even remembers the Andy incident from the previous loop. Anyways, add time. We'll let the people not miss a thing. Zip pipes. They are broken. Oh. Don't worry, Jamode. I'm going to come back to it once people are back from ads. When it comes to stuff like this, I genuinely just want my audience to get the full thing. And yeah, Twitch ads can be really annoying. I understand the booze here. I think from here I'm gonna go ahead and just jump straight in
1,000 times,
and not
Chester.
bother.
It's the number of blind dates I've been on when no one's turned up, followed by the worrying number
Just
of lumps
keep playing
under my
without
left
even-
arm,
without
the
even
date my
pausing.
childhood sweetheart married my best friend, the age of my cat was when I ran him over, the number of conversations I've had with my father, and the exact time my mother walked out. I honestly don't see why that's so hard for you to remember.
Hi, sorry, yes. Hi, Dr. Magnus and Chester. If you could both just take a seat here for me, please. Mr. Bannon will be with you shortly. And this is Miss Short, just over here.
Hi, Robin Short. Pleasure to meet you.
But she said that I should. I don't care what she said. She's clearly out of her depth. You get to press the big red button later. Now, off you chop.
I don't know.
Even with these two, it's pretty much just gonna be Patrick just being narcissistic in its own right. Remember Live and Spooky, he's a narcissist.
I need some more like whips.
What's a horrible idea? Who is that weird little man? I want him fired right now.
We're only here for one night, Patrick. I don't think we can go around firing people. I'm mostly making this up as we go along.
Oh, how reassuring.
That's Dr. Magnus and... where's Chester?
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry about her. She's new. For some reason, they keep leaving. The station lumps me with these arseholes.
If anybody remembers Live and Spooky, you will all remember that unfortunately, the last one that Patrick was with, Miss Holly, she left during Live and Spooky. Right on the spot.
I think they see me as some sort of mentor to them, whereas actually I'm more of a guru. Patrick Bannon, nice to meet you.
Any relation to Graham Bannon?
Oh, it's a bit complicated.
This is literally the third DLC where Graham Bannon's mentioned.
Don't worry, you're in perfectly capable hands with Patrick and I.
Gee, I wonder why. Exactly.
Looking forward to the big button press?
Yes, it will be the culmination of many months of hard work and long nights.
Crikey, when did you actually start?
Well, we were tinkering for years, but we didn't really get going until Advance came through with the funding.
There we go, all here. Lovely. Okay, we're going live in 10.
And now
You know,
on Channel 1.
often wondered what
it's
it'd be
time
like
for
to
a
be sitting
special
here in the
event.
big chair.
We're throwing
Big
a
chairs?
regular schedule
With a man in
for
front of a
night
camera.
smiles.
Or woman.
Jeremy Donaldson 2.0.
Going.
You're welcome to that one.
In 5. No,
I'll tell you,
sorry,
Robin,
3.
I've got absolutely
Oh, no, we're live.
no, I'm not planning on spunking this opportunity right up the curtains. No, siree.
Patrick, we're live!
Good evening, I'm Patrick Bannon.
And I'm Robin Short. It's
Yeah,
the 30th
Bannon,
of
just
March
stop talking.
1985, and this is a Channel
Indeed.
1 special event hosted by your national nightly news reporting team.
Yes. Jeremy Donaldson and Megan Wolf are off doing something. I don't know what. No one told us. So I'll be hosting this once-in-a-lifetime event.
Yes, we will, Patrick. Gently nestling in the sleepy hills of Chintlebury is a solitary laboratory where Dr. Charles Magnus and his wonderfully named Happiness Collective have been working on a secret project.
Yes, indeed. I do like a good nestle, don't you, Rob?
What?
I
Not
like a good. Don't worry
important.
about it. The team are claiming that this euphoria device will raise overall happiness levels throughout the country. Tonight, I'll be putting that claim to the test, live on Channel 1.
As will I. We have reporters positioned up and down the country and a smorgasbord of fabulous expert guests right here in the studio to check those all-important results.
But don't even think about changing that channel. You stay right here with me. Us. Live on Channel 1 for
The Night of Smiles.
There is no we unless you're talking about the console, Bannon. Yes! Yes! I love you already, Demote. We never heard of the map. I've heard about that. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Exactly. But also, Nate, for those that have...
I've noticed something, and I would imagine you have too. Every time Magnus appears, he lists 6 tragic facts from his life. Why?
Exactly the thing I'm wondering as well, Bozeman. This is all becoming a Florida already? Maybe.
Welcome back. In just a few short minutes, the Euphoria device will be activated, and I'll be
Oh,
even
God.
happier
Oh, God. Oh,
than
God.
I already am, sitting here hosting this. Doesn't seem possible. Maybe I'll we. But before that, let's meet the men.
Don't piss
behind
yourself
the
on
merriment.
camera,
Mr.
Robin.
Chester Mims and Dr. Charles Magnus.
Hello.
Okay, so Jamote, I'm gonna explain. A couple months ago, I actually moved in with my sister, her fiance, and 2 kids. Even at this hour, the kids can get really loud, and unfortunately my mic is a bit too sensitive, and I don't have soundproofing in my room. So unfortunately, their voices can unfortunately be heard through my microphone. So if that does happen, I do sincerely apologize. This is out of my control.
Hi. I can't believe I'm here.
You're not supposed to be.
Thanks for joining me. Dr. Magnus, you're the leader of this happiness collective, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
And what does this thing actually do?
Well, we have one underlying unifying goal to scientifically and quantifiably improve happiness levels for everyone, everywhere. The Euphoria device is the culmination of years of research from many experts around the globe.
So then, how does it actually work?
Oh, well, that's simple. I just get my assistant Chester here to push the big red button.
well, it's actually a little bit more complicated than that. You see, I have to attune it. I push the big red button, yes.
Yeah, sure. Once you push that thing, or you or me, it doesn't matter, does it? What does it actually do?
It makes you feel happier, Mr. Bannon.
Well, I'm following the science.
But how does it make us feel happier, Dr. Magnus?
Obviously, some of that information is proprietary, but...
Oh, of course, please say no more.
Okay.
No, don't literally say no more. We're doing a TV show, for God's sake.
Oh, well, I could explain some of the basics.
Oh, bear in mind, we've not got too long to go now, so let's keep it simple for old Patrick here.
No, hold on. No.
Okay, I'm gonna need a second. Here, I need a second to just let the sound from the other room die down. I'm going to explain it right now. Just today, the new PS5 game Astrobot literally released. My brother-in-law was excited for it once he heard about it coming out of work. So, as soon as we got home, he immediately turned on the PS5, started firing it up, bought the game, downloaded it, and now they're still actively playing it. The kids are just way too excited, unfortunately, because he is too young. Yeah, the kid needs a lot of help, so he has to just yell his heart out to his own father.
I'm good at science, actually. I did science all the way through school.
I was only joking.
Yeah, and I dated a science teacher once, so probably picked a thing or two up by Ozymandias.
We're not talking about poems here.
Yes, look, I'm just saying that I'm perfectly qualified to discuss science. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Magnus, perhaps you could explain it in layman's terms for a thicko like me.
Yeah, for a thicko like her.
Well, to put it simply, everything is vibrating. Everything is vibrating.
Hello there.
Axel, thank you for the raid. Also, I'm not Stimky. How dare you? How was DBD?
Sorry?
I'm not vibrating.
Well, interestingly, actually you are.
Everything is. I'm not.
Look at this. Hi, Mama. How are you?
Steady
So good
as
to
a
see
bloody
you.
rock, that is.
Yes, it appears steady, but actually...
Do you know what they called me in boy cadets?
No.
Have a guess.
No. Cadet Bannon?
Yes, they called me Cadet Bannon because the Sergeant Major said they had
Yes,
to, but also
Axel's
something
fish
else.
taco.
Go on, a nickname, come on. You little clown boy, have a guess.
Is this a game? I like games. My favourite games are hide the pickle, cock or ball.
No cock or ball, have a guess.
Steady hand Bannon.
It was Steady Hand, that's right, Steady Hand Bannon, well done. Good guess. Steady Hand Bannon. Point is, not vibrating in any way.
If you say so.
Would have been a deadly sniper.
I'm sure you would.
Too much sitting around, though. The Bannons don't have time for that, no siree.
Thank you.
Can
very
you
much,
shut
Patrick.
it,
You were saying,
Patrick?
Dr. Magnus.
Interspersed with the odd,
Patrick, please.
For most are just sort of sitting around. It's a boring job.
Dr. Magnus.
Yes. Well, a particle is also a wave, and in music
Brimley
there's
Sands.
Patrick.
What's that now?
I was saying Brimley Sands. Went there on the summer. Beautiful place, loads of them there.
I'm sorry, what are you talking
Oh
about?
my God, we're talking about waves, aren't we? So I went to Brimley Sands, obviously didn't go right up to the coastline. Got to protect the money maker as well.
Yes, but those aren't the waves we're talking about, Mr. Bannon.
These are smaller ones, like radio waves.
Pretty sure you don't get waves on the radio, Robin.
They come out of the radio.
OK, well, if that was true, then why isn't my sideboard all wet from the waves? You explain that with your science.
Is there any point?
I could give it a go.
It's a rhetorical question, Chester.
Just like to be or not to be, that's also a rhetorical question.
It absolutely isn't. It absolutely isn't.
Shall I go on?
No time.
No
Crikey!
time
Well,
indeed.
I'm sorry, but
That
we've
can
actually
shut- that could
wasted
probably
the
shut
chance to
Patrick
chat
up.
about all of that.
Well, I think we all learned a lot from that. I know I did.
Okay, we've got less than 2 minutes to go now, Patrick. So, while Chester goes over there to configure the Euphoria device, thank you, Chester, we are going to go live to the new Advanced HQ for a special message from the Prime Ministers, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury. Let's go to that now.
Good evening, everybody. On behalf of Advanced, Julia and I just wanted
So,
to wish all of you
how are you guys
the very
liking this
best
so
of luck
far?
with tonight's groundbreaking experiment.
When this project landed on my desk, I
How you
just
liking this so
knew
far?
it deserved to be funded. After all, what could possibly be better than increased happiness?
Now, I'll admit, I was a little sceptical, but the lab results are promising.
The machine to your left. How many combination locks did it have again?
This is safe.
Oh, that is definitely
So,
matching
it's a
up with
big
what he's
well
saying.
done from us to Dr. Magnus and the entire team at the Happiness Collective.
So, as my old man used to say, it's time to stop twatting about and get the gimlet frothing.
Wow. Good luck, everybody. Back to the studio.
Maybe leave it to the scientists.
No. That's just what they want you to do. No, journalism is about taking massive risks for even bigger rewards. Being seen to do something, even if you're doing nothing at all. Now, this is my big opportunity, and I'm going to grasp it with both hands.
Patrick, you're live. Shut the fuck up.
I thought this job was going to be glamorous.
Good one.
Just day after day with this fucking...
You'll outlast him.
This isn't going to end well, is it?
Oh, maybe you'll get lucky and he'll fire you. God, yeah. Just bide your time. We're live! Oh! Fantastic! Our Prime Ministers, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry,
and
what's
of
going
course,
on? Why is Chester over there?
Well, we thought it might be better if a handsome young journalist in a suit did the push, you know, rather than a sort of stuffy old thing in a lab coat.
Look, Mr. Bannon, I really
This
don't
is
think
highly irregular.
Patrick, I really
Let's get
think it would be
involved!
better.
We've got a new catchphrase to try out as well.
I'm
Here we go
sure
then.
someone in
Okay, let's
chat
start with 10.
is preparing
Shall we?
that
10,
phrase now.
9, 8, come on, Boffin, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get your Bannon on!
I will not be getting my Bannon on. Choose another one.
That is well timed too. Also, that is actually well timed, Nate. Can someone please clip that? Also, yes, me too. I am definitely not, and I mean it, I am not getting my Bannon on. Fucker. All right, last attempt, and let's get the guys behind the camera up front this time.
This one's going to be an absolute train wreck. There's a reason I keep them both behind camera. We'll be lucky if they make it to the opening titles.
Let's go.
Right, these two have absolutely no training. This is going to be a disaster. I've told them it's a job swap. They're all so freaked out. It's been a lovely day.
So we have, job swap. It's basically, normally the people behind the camera are now in front of the camera, and the people in front of the camera are behind the camera. Then where's Jenny? Then where's Jeremy?
This is so fun. I don't want to be on TV. Job swap. I'm not using my lips.
Don't use your real surname. God, no, I don't.
So her surname's not Wolf then?
Like a used car salesman.
Were we lied to this whole time?
Be prime like virtues.
Why is that, Colin?
No one knows. It was written on spoon.
On a spoon.
10 seconds.
Down the
Where
side
are
of
the
a
guests?
Regular schedule away for a night of smiles.
5, 4, oh God, shit, 2, go!
Good evening. I'm Jenny Skywalker.
And I'm Colin Strong.
Man, who are these people? I know, right?
The spoon, that's how they're able to get the writing down the stool.
Colin, shut up! Just carry on!
You're not supposed to be heard.
Follow the auto cue then.
Oh, right, the auto cue. Snuggled into the warmly heaving bosom of Tinderbury, nestling in the soft embrace of its tempting soul. Who wrote this?
Who? I mean, who wrote that?
I wrote it, just read it.
It's like a bad erotic romance novel.
A team of strong but inwardly vulnerable scientists have knotted their collective brows in pulsing concentration as they strive heroically towards one end and one end alone.
To make us all happier. Will it work?
Probably not. Actually, it doesn't say that. That's just what I think. It says, let's find out. Tonight on
The Night of Smiles.
Titles, 45 seconds.
Almost lost it there. But I still got it.
I've got it. There's a link between Magnus's tragic list of events and the combination lock.
Yeah, let's go. Bozeman connects. Yes, he's connected the info. I've actually connected it well before he did, apparently. That definitely correlates to the stuff he's been saying.
The machine thrusting firmly upwards behind me. Not behind me, actually, it's over there. Will be expertly turned on in the first ever mass experiment of its type. But first, let's meet the man behind the merriment.
The boy with the joy.
Dr.
The bloke with the jokes. I've got loads of these.
Actually, I don't tell jokes. I'm really awful at them.
Dr. Charles Magnus, thank you for being here, and I'm sorry about, well, pretty much everything, but especially Colin.
Rude.
Come on, Jenny.
Why devote your life to something as ephemeral as happiness?
Well, I suppose I'd seen happy people from time to time, and
come on, man.
I thought it looked nice.
happiness come as a result of our personal experiences? Shouldn't it be earned?
Not necessarily. One of my uncles once won a year's happiness on a scratch card.
Yeah, that question was more for Dr. Magnus.
Yes, but our surreal friend here does make a good point. I mean, why should we have to earn happiness when we could have it for free?
Exactly. Why earn it when we can actually get it on ourselves?
Well, then it doesn't mean anything, does it? It's not real happiness. It's just a drug administered
When do we get the
air.
dumb questions?
What about if someone at home tonight watching this has just experienced a bereavement? What if they don't want to feel happier? What if your device interferes with the natural process of grieving? Have you considered that?
Well, my device will...
He's cracking.
There's no malice intended. Chester, come here a minute.
Let's welcome Chester to the show. Welcome, Chester.
Chester Mims, 24. I enjoy science, orienteering, and the cheeses of the West Country.
Chester, have we made the calculations for the recently bereaved?
Yes, I'm sure we have. 1 second, I'll just...
Dr. Magnus, have your team done an adequate risk assessment for this experiment?
Yes, we have. I think we have, yes.
Oh, that's cool. Look, he's starting to crack.
Effect on the unborn child. Effect on boxers and other aggression-based activities. Yes. Effect on bereaved and potential corrected for by 18% with reality stabilization circuitry. Yes. Provided that no one messes around with the circuitry on the relay, I'm sure we'll be absolutely fine.
On the
I
relay.
believe we have a special message from the Prime Ministers to wish you luck. Maybe they should wish us all luck.
You know, you weren't the only channel that wanted to run this experiment live.
Oh, no, we're really glad you're here.
Well, you seem very cynical.
Sorry, I don't usually host these things. That's probably why.
Yes, we were promised Jeremy Donaldson.
That probably would have gone much better for you.
You know, I have a good mind to call the whole thing off.
No,
Oh.
let's not do that. I'll never work in TV again. Let's just listen to the Prime Ministers.
Good evening, everybody.
Of course,
On
we
behalf
left
of
listen to this
Advance,
spiel
Julie and I
again.
just wanted to wish all of you the very best of luck with tonight's groundbreaking experiment.
When this project landed on my desk, I just knew it deserved to be funded. After all, what could possibly be better than increased happiness?
She's talked him back into it.
I was a little skeptical,
Imagine if we
but
could
the
get
lab
him
results
to call
are
it off.
promising, and I'm reliably informed it'll even work on this sea.
So it's a big well done from us to
If we could
Dr.
figure out the
Magnus
numbers
and
from
the
Magnus's
entire
list,
team at the
we can
Happiness
unlock that
Collective.
glass
So as
panel
my
on
old
the
man
relay
used to
machine to
say,
your left.
it's time to stop twatting about and get the gimlet frothing.
Wow. Good luck, everybody. Back to the studio.
Welcome back. Let's press this button and see if the universe breaks.
The odds of the universe actually breaking are infinitesimally small.
Well, you two better get your story straight. It's a bit of fun. What do I want to do every time now?
Oh, goodness.
Well, nothing's worked and we still had to sit through that clusterfuck. Can't break the machine, can't break the show. But the scientists, yes, we could break them. Let's go again, Winston. I know what needs to be done.
You think you have something to do with the scientists? Do you think you can mess them up in some way that you've already tried to mess with the show? Let's see if that'll work or if things will just go disastrously. What plan do you have this time? Oh, there goes my kids again.
I found the solution. No
Where's
scientists,
David when you need him?
no experiment.
Dave's gone.
Sit back and relax, Winston. This one's all me. It's going to be a very short show.
And you're sure you haven't seen them?
Not for the last half an hour or so. I'm normally out here by now banging on about numbers.
And you've checked everywhere. The break room, Dr. Magnus's dressing room.
Break room, they're always out the dressing room by now.
Colin, can you please just go and check if they're in the dressing room and I'll get security to do another look around. Don't press that button.
Good.
I do believe we were sent there on purpose.
What the fuck?
Oh, bugger.
On purpose.
What the fuck?
Dr. Magnus,
How did they get out?
Who would have sent us there? Intentionally?
I'm not sure. Perhaps it was a competition.
Is it the blissful union?
Yes, those nerds have been jealous of our Euphoria device ever since we secured the funding from Advance.
They're trying to stop us.
Yes, we must proceed immediately.
Oh, shit.
Dr. Magnus, if we hadn't have got out of there, I'm not sure.
If you hadn't got us out, Chester, I mean, that thing. If you hadn't broken the door down and got us out with that unexpectedly impressive show of strength, well...
Did Bozeman hire Disrupt to lock them up?
You did
We'll
well
reveal.
today,
It'll be
Mr.
revealed in a minute.
You did well.
Dr. Magnus, that's the kindest thing you've ever said to me.
I know I've been a bit harsh on you in the past, Chester, but I promise that this changes from now until the end of time.
Thank you, sir. That means so much.
There you are, Dr. Magnus. We were worried something had happened to you. Glad you both look fine. Actually, you look like you've seen a ghost. Are you all right?
We have undergone a deeply distressing and scientifically implausible trauma at the hands of our enemies. We are absolutely and definitively not all right.
Kids,
fortunately, a remedy is at hand.
Dr. Magnus, we're not even...
Oh, come on, man.
The solution is flawless. The execution is the problem. I don't know why you suggested the old haunted Bannon soundstage. Terrible idea. But I have a better place. Don't worry, Alex. I'll clean up your mess.
Let's see how long I last before I send them off to bed. Anyways, next loop. See where Bozeman sends them this time.
Okay, there is no way those scientists are showing up on this show. I think we're good.
And you're sure you haven't seen them?
It's so infuriating you don't remember our conversations, you know.
And you've checked
So,
out the
you
break
did get sent to the abandoned soundstage this time, so we don't know where they're going to end up this time.
Colin, can you please just go and check if they're in the dressing room, and I'll get security to...
But at least we had the idea.
Yes, look all you want. You won't find them this time.
Why can't he press the button? Isn't that the whole point, isn't it? Wait, where is everybody?
Where
indeed? Professor What's-His-Face and his collection of smiling idiots. Jenny?
Yes, Dr. Charles Magnus and his assistant.
Sorry, I'm late filing my teeth. Where are the guests?
They have mysteriously disappeared. I'll have them back here by the time you come back from the titles, don't worry.
It's considered poor form to lose the guests, Jenny.
Well, next time, I'll read the news and you can chase the wandering scientist. How about that? 10 seconds!
Probably do a good job.
Oh,
shall we?
Make Colin my co-anchor. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. It's the 13th of March, 1985, and this is The Night of Smiles.
That was concerningly short. Very concerningly short. Notice the clip making is different. Yes, you are able to edit a portrait version now. Perfect for stuff like TikTok. Or YouTube Shorts. I'll press X to doubt this will work. We should always press X to doubt.
Welcome back. In just a few minutes, the impressive machine behind me will be activated in the first ever mass experiment of its type. So let's talk about the man behind the merriment, Dr. Charles Magnus, who will be speaking to you later this evening. Truly a visionary, right, Jeremy?
Yes, if by visionary you mean...
Oh, shit.
It was the way to get into the studio.
didn't seem believable, but he was so convincing.
Yes, I bloody was.
He told us that all television studios
what
were
is it on?
We don't work in television. How are we supposed to know?
So we got in and...
The darkness, the sliding, the big splash, and the wet.
And the clownfish.
Lucky the viscosity was low. Heaven knows what would have happened.
Somebody is clearly
When
out
did
to sabotage
when did
us.
Marlon
Dr. Magnus probably the
end up in
blissful
there?
union.
I concur.
Oh my God! Can he
Nasty
shut
little
up,
geese.
please?
We must start the experiment immediately.
Wait.
Right, I've had enough. There's only one real solution that will fix this once and for all. Once more into the breach, dear Winston. Once more.
Okay, we got one more to try, and hopefully it'll work. Bozeman, you gotta think of something better if this doesn't work already.
And you're sure you haven't seen them?
No.
Yes, they definitely won't be coming on now.
And you've checked everywhere. The break room, Dr. Magnus's dressing room.
Spooky
I
place,
actually
aquarium.
had to kill them, Winston.
Wait, what?
I didn't mean to. I thought knocking them unconscious would work, but then they fought back.
Going to be there. We've been through this.
Colin, please.
His dressing room is in a right state.
Bozeman, how could you?
Oh, and don't press that button.
Why can't he press the button? That's the whole
But
point.
on the bright side, they won't press the button now,
Aren't we
so
supposed to
we're
be
out
speaking
of
to
the
the high
loop, which
whatnot
is
or something from the grinning morons?
we're out of the loop.
Jenny?
And I
Dr.
killed them.
Magnus and his assistant.
So sorry.
Bozeman,
I'm late.
why would you
Blood
do this?
everywhere. Where are the guests?
Both of them have mysteriously
Oh, no. I can't go to jail. I wouldn't do well in the joint.
What are
Alex.
you doing?
That won't do it all.
Next time, I read the news and you chase after the wandering scientist. How about that? 10 seconds.
Scientists, you really think there should be some sort of quality check?
Going in 5, 4, Mr. Bozeman.
Sorry, Jenny, but I just can't live with this timeline. We're going again.
Okay. You don't want to do this, Bozeman? Let's try something else. I'll see you later. I'll see you later.
The number of blind dates I've been on when no one has turned up, followed by
Right,
the
here we
worrying
are
number
again.
of lumps
Your
under
button
my
should be
left
working,
arm.
Winston. Push it
The
to
date
freeze
my
time.
childhood sweetheart-
Okay, let's go.
So, only Magnus can stop the experiment, which he doesn't want to do. Which means we'll just have to fix his machine for him. It's got to be something to do with the relay, that contraption on your left. Fortunately, I found some instructions for it lying around in Magnus's definitely unlocked briefcase. Apparently, altering the machine's core workings is all about the wires, but we can't get at them because of the glass
Indeed.
panel, which appears to have an unnecessarily complex combination lock. The instructions say, there is no way to unlock the relay without your customized combination, so we suggest writing it down or not forgetting it. Well, that's a great help. Maybe we'll get lucky and it's already set correctly? There should be a small button next to the combination to allow you to check it. Give it a press now and let's see what happens.
Let's see it.
All those red lights should indicate that none of the combination is correct. Ah well, that probably would have been too convenient and unfulfilling if the code was already entered for us. It says here you should be able to change the number by moving the dials up or down. Then, as we did before, press the button to see if we've entered the code correctly. Just check you can change the numbers now. Excellent. That all seems to be
Oh, I
working.
see how that
I
works.
suppose we'll just have to work out the code the old-fashioned way. Take a look at the notepad and I'll show you where I'm at with it all.
So, Alice, basically what he said was just the exact hints that were going on, not necessarily just not necessarily, how do I say it? Not necessarily the exact numbers. We just need to find those numbers for ourselves, is what we're trying to say here.
As I was saying before that nasty business with the dead scientists, Magnus's rambling when he enters the studio correlates perfectly with the combination lock on the relay machine. So it seems to me, if we figure out all those bits of information, we can unlock the device and fix their infernal contraption. With that in mind, the combination is the total number of dates Magnus has been on where the other person didn't show up, the number of worrying lumps under his left arm, the very date his childhood sweetheart married his best friend, the age of Magnus's cat when he ran him over, how many conversations Magnus has had with his father, and the exact time his mother walked out. My God, his life sounds awful. Still, the next step is getting Magnus to spill the beans on all that information. We've already seen that disrupting the show hasn't helped us with anything, but I thought adding a second guest to sow a little more chaos might get the good doctor talking. Take a look to your right.
Let's have a look.
I've put my Rolodex down there with you, with all the celebrities I can book for the show at short notice. Give it a spin now.
Let's see.
When you've chosen your guest, simply pull their card out of the Rolodex and I'll book them for the next loop.
Before we select that next card, I will be right back. I just need to check in on my roommates. But now's a good time to get yourself a beverage, a snack, whatever you guys need to enjoy the rest of the stream. Do not go anywhere. More Not For Broadcast of Time Loop when I come back.
Yeah, some more.
I don't do streaming and diff chats and stuff like that, so I'm very new to Discord.
No. No. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh no! Hey, Felix, timestamp that motherfucker.
Someone please clip that! No!
Please.
No fucking way! Someone please clip that!
Oh.
Hey, 2 strokes.
You bitch! That actually worked out.
You bitch! You fucked me over!
That actually worked out. Well, I actually worked out. Okay.
Fuck.
Coming on in! You guys are heckin' amazing beans, and I cannot wait to probably never fart again. A brief bio break. When I come back, we're gonna continue on this main mission into the Golden Hills. Well, there's a good reason why I'm taking a bio break.
You think I spoiled Jalen enough? Just wait until my wife gets involved.
Bork!
No. Oh no. Hi. Oh, hi, Delta.
Come on, guys, keep it going.
Yeah, Funny Foxos is my wife.
And guys, on that note, make sure you guys go ahead and give Seb Espresso the amazing Blueberry Barker love that you guys give me every single stream. TPO, why you do this? Ow! And 9 biddies to test my mix it up and harden the oh god no! All right, let's go ahead and why am I going to intermission? I don't want to be in intermission. But that's also a good opportunity for me because I can just go right here and then boop, we're gonna put that right back where it was on the top end, and then I'll come back to this game and do the wait, no, I can just go here, let this slide, and then here we go. We're getting somewhere, folks. We're absolutely getting somewhere. I think I have an idea of how the order's gonna go because I kind of want to try a couple of things. Let's start by getting the conspiratist into the studio first, Mr. James.
Madder than 13-8 with 5 sharps, but at least he gets people talking. Right, now that we know who we're bringing on the show, let's turn back to the pad and I'll tell you how we'll solve this thing.
Let's do this.
When you hear any useful information, you can press the handy bell I put under the pad. I've got your broadcast feed coming directly to my office, so I'll be able to see and hear what's on your main screen whenever you ring the bell. Try it now, let's just check I can hear it.
Okay, ding!
Perfect. You press it when you hear anything about the combination. When I hear it, if it's relevant, I'll write it out for us on the pad so we can keep track of it all. Once we have enough to figure out the code, we can fix this damn machine and get out of this mess. I can get us started because I happen to hear about the unfortunate passing of his father from a severe sawdust allergy, apparently, when he got home from the circus. So we'll put that down now. Right, so remember, we're looking for the information to solve the combination lock. Magnus will hopefully reveal different pieces of the information based on who you've chosen to bring on the show via the Rolodex. You'll ring the bell anytime you hear anything relevant, and I'll note it down. And you can start and stop the loops at any time by pressing the big red button on the relay machine. Let's get started.
Jalen Barks presents the Stinky Loop. How dare you? I'm not stinky. Let's do this. The Fool.
I can't deny he ups the ratings when
Good
he's
seeing
on.
you, Jamo. Thank you so much for stopping on by, and please take care of yourself.
Very poor success rate.
I've told you 1,000 times, Chester. It's the number of blind dates I've been on when no one's turned up, followed by the worrying number of lumps under my left arm, the date my childhood sweetheart married my best friend, the age my cat was when I ran him over, the number of conversations I've had with my father, and the exact
Not easy working for big science, is it?
No, it's me. I'm afraid I have trouble remembering impossibly convoluted things.
Like science, eh?
Don't think so.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
Dr. Magnus, this is Alan James. If you could both
It's a
take seat,
theory, man,
please. The host
to
will
an
be with you
extent.
shortly.
Not you. Sorry, Dr. Magnus.
Big science, mate.
Oh, God, not in this time.
Not who? Oh, God.
Look, I'm not happy about it either.
Jeremy, just deal with it, okay?
Nice to meet you.
Let me say that first. Mr. James.
Nice to be back.
For at least one of us.
Sorry, I'm late. Poisoned smoothie. Dr. Magnus.
And mind you that this is also before her Disrupt actually rose to fame, so there's
10
that.
seconds.
You do know this isn't the news, don't you? Has anyone told Mr. James?
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Megan Wolf, and a very special guest.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. It's the 13th of March, 1985, and this is a Channel 1 special event hosted by your national nightly news team.
In a laboratory nestled in the sleepy hills of Chintlebury, Dr. Charles Magnus and his optimistically named Happiness Collective have been working on a secret project.
Absolutely nothing suspicious about that.
They claim their Euphoria device will raise overall happiness levels throughout the country. Tonight, live on Channel 1, we'll be putting that claim to the test.
Without your consent.
We'll be in and out the schedule throughout the evening, with our very loud special guest to report live what the devices would a smile.
My God, that sounds
What?
awful. Do you really have to listen to that every day, Alex? Let's just turn off the audience monitoring for now. We don't want to have that going off every time.
Channel 1 all evening as we
So we
bring
don't
you
worry
the
about
Night
it.
of Smiles.
45 seconds back.
I can freely go through these.
Scientist.
Is that so?
Engineer.
Oh, so not really a scientist.
Well, he ran a garage. Did mainly tyres and exhausts.
More of a mechanic then.
Well, when I say he ran it, he owned it, really. Had a bloke called Keith. For him. Sad story, actually. Car fell from that.
I don't think I don't know how I got that.
Dad was
We'll figure it out as we go.
Had to read all the signage. What was your dad like?
Hard to say. I've got more PhDs than I've had conversations with him.
Me too.
10 seconds.
You have PhD?
No, a shitty dad.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In just a few minutes, the impressive machine behind me will be activated.
So I can just
in
stay
the
on a
first
camera a whole
ever
time
mass
and not
test
worry
of
about
its
my
type.
audience.
So let's meet the man behind the merriment, Dr. Charles Magnus.
And inexplicably sat next to him is controversial speaker and columnist, and I believe now a best-selling
At least for the
author,
moment.
Alan James.
Sales have been great, Jeremy. I'm as surprised as you are.
Probably a mix-up with the counting.
And yes, a sequel is on the way. In fact, I have the first proof copy right here.
Is it now? Is it now? Wait. You
Okay,
what?
There seems to have been some sort of mix-up with the measurements.
That is small. Look, believe me when you know a couple of furry Twitch streamers, but I have a feeling that that's a book Corky Cam can fucking read.
Well, let's turn to the man of the moment, shall we? Dr. Charles Magnus.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I'm lucky enough to work with an amazing team.
In a secret lab somewhere deep underground?
No, in Chintlebury, near the supermarket.
Where does your funding come from, so-called Dr. Magnus?
A valid question.
Well, prior to last year, we relied mainly on charitable donations, but since
Jackson,
Advance
hello,
came to
how are you doing?
power,
So good to
Or
see
as
you.
I call them in my new book.
James is right here.
The corruppeteers. Like, corrupt puppeteers. See?
Well, pretty much disregarding all of that, the Assets and Wealth Science program gave us the means to get to tonight in a fraction of the time it would have taken otherwise.
And what did you have to do in return for all that lovely funding?
I beg your pardon?
I have been doing my own research, so-called Dr. Magnus, and this experiment is dangerous.
All science involves risk.
6-0 Green Bay. Oh, of course.
You're messing with the structure of reality.
Tim,
I've been doing my own
I hope you're there to see
We are
that.
at the forefront of a new technology. This is how breakthroughs happen. This is how science works.
Well, what if what you call science is all a big lie?
You
What if
sure?
there's something more, something bigger than science?
You can't get bigger or smaller than science, Mr. James. Science isn't a thing. It has no mass. It is simply a set of tools to understand everything.
What is the real purpose of your happiness device?
To make people happier.
And what if we don't want to be happier? What if we want to spread our misery to others?
Well, how is that different than what I'm doing?
Can you answer that, Mr. James?
Mass test.
Don't help him.
You're running mass tests of an experiment that could literally alter us all. We didn't sign up for this. It shouldn't be allowed to happen. It's way too reckless.
Well, look, there's less than a minute now to go. So while we go and get set up with Chester and yourself, Doctor, over at the Euphoria device, we can go live now to the new Advanced HQ for a special message.
Likewise,
from
we
the
don't even
Prime
need to.
Ministers,
We don't even need to
Peter
hear the
Clement
advanced stuff
and Julia
anymore.
Salisbury.
The corrupt masters.
Yeah, we're off air, Alan. It's just nonsense.
Okay, so that's about a minute back. If we could get you all over to the device now, please.
I hope you didn't mind me calling you so-called Dr. Magnus back there.
Well, I did rather. I do have 3 PhDs.
Hello. That sounds like a lot. Is it a lot? What actually are they, anyway?
They mean I do my own research.
Indeed.
Like me, you mean?
Hello again. Chester Mims, 24. My favourite foods are mashed potato, glacé cherries, and cat treats.
I've never seen a glacé yet.
Probably trifle,
10 seconds.
aubergines, and bone marrow.
We're friends now.
Right, you are.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Fantastic, the Prime Minister.
Although
of course,
having worked at
without
2
the
grocery
assets and
stores, that
wealth
didn't occur to me.
funding.
We wouldn't be about to break the space-time continuum.
Honestly, how would we know? It's been broken for me for years.
I think we can get a counter on the screen. There, and we're going in.
It's
10,
on James's face.
9, 8, 7. Come on, Jeremy.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Happy New Year, guys. Just kidding.
I think we got everything we need from that sequence. Capital.
So let's go over this for a little bit. I've actually... Okay, so up here we accidentally found some things that were useful to us, but we'll not know exactly what for until another guest. So we know Magnus's father died on the day they visited the circus, but what day exactly? Because at a certain point, this could also help us, in a sense, figure out what date the tragic marriage between his lover and best friend was. Now, so, Magnus has had more PhDs than conversations with his father, and he has 3 PhDs, which tells me one thing: he can only have had 1 or 2 conversations with his dad. That information is still very unknown to us, and it's still very, 2 ways a little bit. So, something I can easily look into when we get to it, but we're not quite there yet. There's still a lot more information we need to pick up. At the minute, I don't have enough information for any of the other stuff either, so let's just get another guest going and see what we can find.
That man could sell anything. I still have my inflatable fireplace to this day.
If you guys want something crazy, then look no further than Crazy Neil and Neil's Deals Incorporated. Let's go.
For a man that supposedly has a business empire to run, he was surprisingly available at short notice. He's very spontaneous, Alex, so hopefully he takes us in a helpful direction.
I've told you 1,000 times, Chester. It's the number of blind dates I've been on when no one's turned up, followed by the worrying number of lumps under my left arm.
Here, yes, what? It's Crazy Neil here with the scientific deal of the year. Yeah!
Ah, Mr. Neil, so glad you could join us. If you could please sit with Dr. Magnus on the sofa, the host will be with you shortly.
I'll just leave this device here next to this other one, shall I?
Sure,
Neil looks like a young...
sorry,
I mean, true. He does try to run a business too, after all.
Oh, that's fine. We don't need him until the experiment starts. But this device...
Leave that alone, please, Colin.
What's this one do?
God knows, it just showed up.
Fascinating.
What's fascinating?
My inability to express my true feelings if my mother's to be believed.
What's fascinating is how we can offer such quality products at such low,
Is that really a quality product, though?
Good to see you again, Mr. Donaldson.
Thank goodness we have two equally qualified guests, Mr. Neil.
Call me Crazy Neil.
Let's say no for now.
This is Dr. Charles Magnus.
Another equally skilled salesperson if the reports on your funding levels are to be believed.
What crazy sales is he going to try to come up with for this show? Is my question.
Impervious to skepticism.
There's no need for skepticism, Jeremy.
Just go with it? Let's go with it then. But let's not actually buy shit from him. I'm trying my best not to buy anything. I'm literally broke as it is.
Crazy Neil! When you live the crazy like I do, it's not just a brand, it's a lifestyle. Yeah!
Of course it is. Amazing. 10 seconds, everybody.
Check it out, 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 check it out. I see what you did there, Nate.
4, 3.
Info-wise, I know.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. It's the 13th of March, 1985, and this is a Channel 1 special event hosted by your national nightly news team and special guests.
That's right. We're joined tonight by a well-renowned scientist and a salesman.
That should say captain of industry.
It does. I amended it on the fly.
The first, fresh from his laboratory in Chintlebury, is Dr. Charles Magnus, head of the Happiness Collective, who claims his Euphoria device will raise overall happiness levels.
Of course, we've heard this all before.
And our other guest is a man who wears the title of Crazy with Pride, and once tried to sell me a self-freezing toaster. I'm still not sure why I would want one, but anyway, it's Crazy Neil.
Yes, indeed. I'm bringing the appliance of science at an unbelievable price.
So don't go away. Stick with Channel 1 all evening as we bring you The Night of Smiles.
And a minute back.
We normally like to
Don't think we really care.
Before they speak, Mr. Neil.
There will be plenty of time to talk when we come back from the titles.
Yeah, speaking of that, when will I get a chance to introduce my device so our viewers can compare the two?
Sorry, his device? What's this now?
Sales. Sorry, Dr. Magnus, did Mr. Bozeman not explain to you that when he invited Mr. Neil...
Crazy Neil.
Sorry, yes. When Mr. Crazy Neil was invited to come onto the show, he brought his own device as an alternative.
You can't be serious. I mean, this is preposterous. I've spent years researching and planning for tonight. Countless hours given up, opportunities ignored, friends lost, lumps that probably should have been checked, and this senseless charlatan is attempting to plagiarize my entire life's work.
You will have plenty of time to make your case, Dr. Magnus.
Back in 10.
When has he plagiarized others? That's my question.
4, 3.
Welcome back. In just a few minutes, one of the impressive machines behind me will be activated in the first ever mass experiment of its type. But first, let's meet the men.
Crazy Neil's like
behind
Bob's from
these
Homestar Runner and
multiple
Stan from the Monkey
machines.
Island series.
Dr. Charles Magnus.
Tunus, in a way.
Crazy Neil.
Hello, hey, hola, bonjour.
When did he not?
Hi there,
Good point.
Crazy Neil with the best happiness device around, and it's an unreal steal of a deal.
Hello.
Thank you both for joining us.
Just a simple hello
Mr.
from
Neil, let's
Dr.
start
Magnus
with
as per usual.
Crazy. When you live the crazy like I do, Mr. Donaldson, it's a lifestyle, not a brand.
Of course. Mr. Neil, you've come here today with, what did you call it again?
Crazy Neil's joyous jubilation contraption. You won't find better out there. No, sir.
Mm-hmm.
What
Indeed.
exactly does it do?
Well, you see, you press this button, and your greatest dreams, your ultimate happiness, your true bliss, they all come true.
Wow, that's quite the device there. And you say you made it last night?
Yes, ma'am. I saw.
You were in a rush,
the show
weren't
being
you?
advertised, and I
That's
said
why it sucks.
I wasn't going to be outdone by no buffing in a lab coat. No offense, brainbox. So I got together with the current Mrs. Crazy Neil, ex-Mrs. Neil's 1 through 3, 5, and 6.
Wow, that's quite the team. And they all happily work together with you?
Well, other than number 4, we're all on speaking terms. Number 5 is the director of a national space program.
So, do tell
Comparable to NASA, I bet.
actually work?
Yes, I'd be very curious to know.
I can't give that away, I'm afraid. Otherwise, we'll have knockoff Crazy Neils springing up everywhere.
That is very true. Salesmen usually don't share their secrets.
Agreed. So let's turn to you, Dr. Magnus. What's the name of your device?
Okay, so it's my turn, is it? About time. I'll have another lump after this, no wonder. They're brought on by unnecessary stress. So, the Happiness Collective is a team of highly qualified professional scientists and engineers from a multitude of
I won't be here
institutions
forever,
and
so come see
disciplines,
me
and we
and
have
this little dog for a very low
the
price.
Euphoria
Yes.
device, a real
Salesmen and magicians have something in common
that
then?
will
Yeah, if anybody's ever seen Penn and Teller fool us,
in
the
this
secrets aren't
nation
usually
and
shared
eventually
until,
the
well,
wider world.
Well, an
probably
equally
not.
ambitious claim there. How long did it take your exception?
Not probably revealed to us ever, but of course,
obviously.
The
in the world
of course,
actual
the
science, proper
Penn and,
processes
of
need
course,
to be
Mr.
followed
Penn
to
and
ensure
Teller
safety.
will definitely
Standards need to be
try to figure it out
adhered to at
themselves
each
on their own.
iteration, and
Absolutely, whereas you did yours last night.
And this is why business is always giving science a wedgie. We give the people what they need when they need it. And that's a Crazy Neil guarantee.
90 upside to this. Hi, Sulfur. How you doing? So good to see you.
well, obviously some of that information is proprietary.
See? Convenient.
I'll try and explain the basics as simply as possible.
As simple as getting a crazy deal?
Neil?
Everything is vibration. Everything is vibrating. A
Zip,
particle
guys.
is also a wave.
But
and
you can wave goodbye to expensive flights with Crazy Neil's bathroom, surfer, ocean wave machine. When the beach comes to you, may cause electrocution.
A wave is, if you like, a note, and we all vibrate at different notes depending on our mood. Happier people vibrate at a higher frequency than sad
Needs to be
people, for
quit.
example.
I know my wife is always
Zip
happy when
pipes.
she's like,
They are broken.
I mean,
Ugh.
I give up.
I understand, Dr. Magnus. Thank you. Megan?
Yes. Well, there is only a minute or two to go now. So while we go and get set up
Yes,
with the
Neil needs to
devices,
shut up.
let's go and head on live to the new Advance HQ for a special message from the Prime Ministers, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury.
Okay, we've got about a minute. Lovely stuff. If we could get you all over to the devices now, please.
So who won?
Sorry?
Well, you're going to start up my device, or Brainbox is here.
I think, Mr. Neil, while it's been very entertaining having you on the show, we're probably going to go with Dr. Magnus's device.
Some sanity at last. Chester.
Yes, Dr. Magnus.
It looks like nickel and copper might have brought a little friend. Let's get another dermatologist appointment for next week, shall we?
Okay, I'll make a note of that straight away. Let's invite Zinc along to the party.
Please don't make light of my numbering system. Just a fucking appointment.
What's he charging you for this bucket of bolts?
10
Whatever
seconds.
it is, I'll have
Oh.
the cost.
You fundamentally misunderstood this. 5 seconds, push the right button.
Did not know it was bad.
3.
I'm gonna try to figure it out. I have a feeling that I might have
Fantastic, the Prime Minister's there.
blocked one of the terms. I'm trying to remember exactly what.
It's for what we're witnessing tonight.
So who's going to get their button pressed?
Well, I'm personally obviously sure that they'd both prove equal value to society,
I tell
but
you
I
what,
think we're probably...
I'll give you your first press for free.
No!
Oh, well, that ain't right. Huh?
Is it not working?
Please.
Well then.
Mr. Neil, much better to leave these things to the professionals.
Nailed that one, Alex. We're done here.
So, we've gotten some information about the lumps, and I think I might already have some idea of the answer. The combination lock is set to the atomic number for copper. Let's try that. But we also have information from the intro title screen. The atomic numbers for each of the elements. Copper is 29. Let's see if 29 works.
I can see where you're coming from, but the machine says it's not right. We must be missing some information.
So it's not copper then. Then what exactly is it? I'm tempted to try one of the other two, but it specifically states that it's set to copper. So there must be something else that Magnus may have messed with to get through all of this. This could be literally just anything out of its own ass at this point. So, on that note, I am pretty sure that we could try another person. Lumpy butt. Oh my goodness. Okay, first off, what is that on Jeff's... What is that? What is this on fucking Jeff's picture?
I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. Just to be clear, Winston, I hate him.
So Bozeman literally, after Hey Friendship, Bozeman literally swore off Jeff Algebra and has put the name Prick on his fucking card. I guess you could be right anymore right on that, because for those of us that have seen Jeff Algebra, even on this very game, you could definitely tell that he was starting to become a little bit of an ass of himself, to say the least. But anyways... The Nobody.
Algebra. Ugh. I swore I'd never let him back on television. Curse this improbable scenario for making a liar of Bob Bozeman.
I've told you 1,000 times, Chester. It's the number of blind dates I've been on when no one's turned up, followed by the worrying number of lumps under my left arm, the date my childhood sweetheart married my best friend.
Sounds like my life. Hello, Jeff Algebra. You must be Charles. Bob Bozeman's told me all about you.
If you could just sit here, please, gentlemen. The host will be with you shortly.
Not you, Chester.
Sorry, Dr. Magnus.
Do you mind if I call you Charles?
Actually, I prefer Excuse me, what are you doing?
Leave that alone, please, Colin.
Oh,
Just remember, Bose, we'll loop to something else later. That is true.
You must be desperate.
Obviously, we can't collect every single information in one loop. This is the idea. He's not going to spoil the entire beams. He's just going to give us hints each subsequent loop.
Wonderful. In that case, you're overqualified.
He's already the disaster he is. You've seen him on day 232 when he did the thing with Philippa and Tommy. I almost said the actor's name.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. It's the 13th of March, 1985, and this is a Channel 1 special event hosted by your national nightly news team.
In a laboratory nestled in the sleepy hills of Chittlebury, Dr. Charles Magnus and his optimistically named Happiness Collective
is that Chintle with an I or a Y?
Have been working on a secret project.
They claim their Euphoria device will raise overall happiness levels throughout the country. Tonight, live on Channel 1, we'll be putting that claim to the test.
We're delighted, it says here, to welcome the project lead, Dr. Charles Magnus, and for some inexplicable reason, a maths teacher.
And biographer.
What are you talking about?
We'll have reporters the length
He's
and breadth
doing
of
the
country,
fucking thing
and
now.
Of course, those all-important results.
So don't move that dial. Stick with Channel 1 all evening as we bring you
The Night of
Smiles.
45 seconds back.
Jeff, that wasn't your line either.
Sorry, Jeff, you know you're not meant to be saying that line.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Megan. I got carried away. It's only my second time on TV, you know.
You can barely tell.
Both times with you, actually. You're
Now
like
the night
my
of frowns?
lucky charm.
You serious?
Angela will get jealous.
She needn't.
And, of course, I'll be back when the show's done. Bob's promised me that this afternoon.
Bob. Sorry, you mean Robert Bozeman?
Yes. Yes, he's hired me to write a 4-part TV dramatisation of the life of this chap right here.
Me?
You sure? Bozeman, do you have anything to say about this?
Apparently you have. Check your contract.
I do love a bit of fine print.
5,
Oh!
4, 3.
Okay then. Bozeman actually did write that.
Welcome back. In just a few minutes, the impressive machine behind me will be activated.
So
in the
he's
first
so he's
ever
going
mass
on the
experiment
joke, is
of
he?
its type. But before we begin the bliss, let's meet our guests, Dr. Charles Magnus and his official biographer, Jeff Algebra.
Hello. It's a pleasure to be back, Megan.
A big day for you. You must be feeling overwhelmed, I imagine.
Christ, yes. Do you know, I had to jump in a taxi straight after the Year 10 Drama Club.
Pushes
just to
the
get
boot
here today.
button.
So
If there
all in
was a
all,
boot
I'd
button.
say it is pretty bloody thrilling.
I think she was talking to the doctor.
Oh, yes. Of course. Sorry.
Dr. Magnus, an exciting day.
Well, yes, it is, after all, the apex of my life's endeavour.
Oh, cracking stuff. Apex of my endeavour. Cracking.
Quite a daunting task you've undertaken.
Yeah, do you know what? I thought so too. But I was pacing around in that little holding area you have for guests through there.
The green room.
No, it's sort of pinky purple.
Yeah.
Anyway, I
That's
was
the
pacing
green
around
room,
in
you
there,
dummy.
asking myself, what have I got in common with a great big brain box like Chaz here?
Please don't touch me.
But how does a numbskull like me connect with a chuffing genius like the Charster?
I really don't like either of those names.
But then we were talking before the show.
Were we?
And he told me a story from his life, and I realised that this genius and
What
I,
story is
we're
this?
the same.
I don't like talking about myself.
You see, when I was 16, there was only one girl that I wanted to invite to the school dance. Angela Angular, the joiner's girl. Now, everyone in the village loved Angela because she had the sweetest heart and back then a working spine, see?
Jeff?
My best friend
Does this
in them
even
days
relate at
was
all?
Gareth Major Minor, whose dad was an army trumpeter. Gareth and Angela had been dating for a few months, and things were going very well for them. But I was lonely, see?
I'm not sure what this has to do with my life.
Ah, well, Gareth confided in me that he'd been having some trouble in the bedroom department. Performance anxiety, probably.
Yeah,
We were all
excuse
young,
me?
after all.
God, I have just been sick in my mouth.
Well,
actually.
I was an ambitious fellow like the Chuckmeister here. So what I did was... I convinced Angela that the reason for Gareth's disappointing nocturnal activity...
The reason he wasn't having sex.
This is still brilliant. I convinced her that he was gay, see?
You what?
Wow.
I know, right? Pretty damn clever. Anyway, she bought it.
Respect
and
to
not
all
only did
gays
she
in this
go to
community,
the
I
dance with
swear.
me, but she's been my wife this last 14 years, the first 6 of which were really excellent.
Wow. You do know you're on television, don't you, Jeff?
Yes. Sorry, I am trying to keep it brief. My point is that exactly the same thing.
I would
happened to
say,
Dr.
as a furry
Magnus
myself
here.
and an
We're
ally of
like reflections of
LGBTQ,
each
Jeff did the
other.
right thing by making that
To
claim.
answer your original question, yeah?
Which was clearly meant for the Doctor.
I might be evil saying that,
Yes.
going
yes,
further
it is
in
daunting
this
to try and
one, but
capture
we'll
the,
see.
the complexities of this brilliant man in 4 short hours of TV drama, less when you allow for the adverts. But you see, I've got a hook to start from, a place of truth, because we're so similar, Chip and I.
This is outrageous.
Outrageous fortune.
Don't even know this, man. We are in no way like. I thought we were here to talk about the machine.
No one cares about the science.
Jeff.
It's all about the human story.
Well, perhaps you could just try and
I
talk
mean,
about
we
what
care
we're
about the
choosing
life.
to call the science for just a moment.
Sorry, Jeremy. Well, there is no time, I'm afraid. We're going to have to go live now to Advance's brand new headquarters for a special message of goodwill from the Prime Ministers. Let's go to that now. Prime Ministers.
Okay,
I bet you Magnus is actually going to break.
Oh, yes. Oh, hey, maybe we should push the button together, Charlie?
Actually, that's...
No one cares about you. It's all about Chuck and me. 2 peas in a pod making history together.
Listen to me, you stupid twat. We are not 2 peas in a pod. We are nothing alike. You did something truly awful and stole your best friend's girlfriend, whereas I had to watch my childhood sweetheart marry my best friend on the 5th anniversary of my father's death. So, in your story, I'd be Gareth. Do you see? Gareth, who you fucked over for your narcissistic enjoyment. You're a pathetic excuse for a human being.
Magnus is right. Jeff is a fucking narcissist.
Right you are. I think I might have got the wrong end of the stick.
Looks that way, doesn't it?
So that's definitely awkward for Mr. Algebra.
Live?
Yes, fantastic. That was the Prime Ministers there. And, of course, without the assets and wealth funding...
Yeah,
you
well,
see-
I'd still be teaching
Yes.
Not me again, right?
You're Chester.
Chester Mims, 24. My party tricks include close-up card magic, playing the banjo, and no gag reflex.
No gag reflex. That'd be a
And
challenge.
you'll be pressing this big button for us and starting the experiment. Is that correct?
Yes.
I have a feeling
One man
Jeff
shall
wants
push a
to,
button
so
and the rest
bad
of
to push the
mankind
button.
Shall smile. That's Mims with 2 M's.
Well, I think we can get a counter on the screen now.
And 1 M at the beginning, obviously.
We're going in.
Can I have the no gag reflex part?
9.
Maybe.
8.
We shall see.
7. 6. 5.
Come on.
4. 3. 2. 1.
Well, safe to say we got everything out of that guest.
So, from that, we've gathered a couple of more information about the tragic marriage. So, Bozeman already gave to us that the death of the father was on the day they visited the circus. Apparently, it's linked to that tragedy. The marriage apparently was on the 5th anniversary, so whatever year the dad died, we have to calculate for 5 years later for that tragic marriage. We'll be needing more information as we go, but for the time being, I don't think I have enough to figure out that part of it. The other 5, I still don't have enough info. Chat with Dad might be an easy one, but we'll have to see how other guests go. We've got 2 other guests to go, and guys, let's see what we can find out of these guys. And I'm playing a version of Enough Broadcast. I'm playing a playthrough right now, or at least just stopped one from Papa Barks, where my focus ad is actually this lady's right here.
The soul of a warrior in the body of a weeping willow. I have all her works on VHS.
Miss Helena Canterbury-Bochu, the mistress behind Eye of the Beholder. Let's do this. The National Treasure.
I love her work. She's so classy and beautiful, like a soprano sax in the high range.
So sorry about the dryness. The last few days it seemed to have started becoming a little bit flaky.
It might be that Jura Kashan that you're trying to get advertised.
I've told you 1,000 times, Chester. It's the number of blind dates I've been on when no one's turned up, followed by the worrying number of lumps under my left arm, the date my childhood sweetheart married my best friend, the age my cat was.
And for those wondering what that translates to, and the reason why Eye of the Beholder makes what they make, Jus de cochon is actually a French is actually French for what people will call pig juice. Literally selling pig juice for skin, what is it? For like skin cream. What the fuck?
When I ran him over, the number of conversations I've had with my father,
I mean,
and the exact time my mother
who doesn't
walked
love
out.
British comedy?
I don't see why that's so hard for you to remember.
My goodness, such a litany of sorrows. Helena Canterbury-Bochu.
Dr. Charles Magnus, this is my assistant, Chester.
Am I getting this touch up or am I making changes?
Cat? Chester Mims.
Oh, a Twilight Zone reference? Why did I not think of that?
Hygiene, golfer's trousers, and totalitarianism.
Thank you, Chester. You can run along now.
I've seen all your films.
Oh, how lovely. There's something wrong with her.
How did I not think of that?
It keeps coming away.
Lovely.
Why are you using that on me then?
I think you're just lovely.
How kind. Where's Jeremy?
I'm here. Sorry I'm late. Bozeman held me up.
Yes, I said for very long, but ultimately pointless mellow. Spent all morning writing it.
I wonder what it was about.
5, 4, 3.
Megan Wolf, and a very special guest.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Dawson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. It's the 13th of March, 1985, and
How
this
dare
is a
you,
Channel 1
Nate.
special event hosted by your national nightly news team.
In a laboratory nestled in the sleepy hills of Chittlebury, Dr. Charles Magnus and his romantically named Happiness Collective have been working on a secret project.
They claim their Euphoria device will raise overall happiness levels throughout the country. Tonight, live on Channel 1, we'll be putting that claim to the test.
We're joined in the studio tonight by Dr. Charles Magnus himself, actress, model and activist Helena Canterbury-Bochu, and... Sorry, what's your name?
Chester Mims, 24. My favourite body parts are my eyes, my spleen, and of course my above-average-sized penis.
Overshare!
Fascinating guests. Stay with us on Channel 1 all night for The Night of Smiles.
45 seconds back.
Jeremy Donaldson, pleased to meet you.
Helena Canterbury Boat Shoe. I'm a huge fan of your work. Huge.
Thank you. Wish I could say the same. I don't get much time at the cinema, though.
Oh, that's a shame. Your world must be
Chester, do you guys agree that Chester overshares everything about his life?
Jenny?
Yes, Jeremy.
Jenny, do you interview him too? He looks somewhat broken.
Oh, he's fine. I was chatting to him before. Just leave it to me.
Yes, leave it to Megan. You poor little man.
You're such a little
10 seconds, everyone.
So you heard that then, did you?
Nonsense.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In just a few minutes, the impressive machine behind me will be activated in the first ever mass test of its type. But first, let's meet our gleeful guests, Helena Canterbury Boat Shoe, Dr. Charles Magnus, and Chester Mims. If I might start with you, Doctor, what should we be expecting to feel like when the machine is switched on?
Happier, we hope.
Yeah, but will it be just mild happiness?
Such as one might experience in finding a misplaced onion.
Thank you, Jeremy. Or will it be all-encompassing bliss?
Oh, such as when one is in love.
Well, yes, exactly.
I wouldn't know about love.
Dr. Magnus has never had a romantic relationship.
Married to the science, I'd imagine how romantic.
Oh, no. He's had loads of dates. He finds them in the personal ad.
Yes, thank you, Chester.
Oh, well, it's good that you're trying.
Not empirically, it isn't. No. I think over the last, 31 years, he has had 122 blind dates. Of these, 3 have left in tears, 15 have had sudden family emergencies, 4 sat opposite him, repeating the word no over and over again until they left. I mean, I could go on.
I'd rather you didn't.
Exactly half of them never even bothered to turn up. I mean, it's just dreadful, isn't it? And then, of course, there's her.
Chester!
Of course, there's her.
We don't deal in impossibilities at the Happiness Collective. We focus on what we
Who
can
in the
do.
fuck?
Yes, Dr. Magnus. Sorry, Dr. Magnus.
My thoughts exactly, Bozeman.
This is why I've forsworn anything other than the most casual of relationships with men. In favour of cats, Doctor.
Oh, yes. I bought a cat 12 years ago.
Then you understand.
Ran him over on my 45th birthday. He just loved sunbathing on the drive.
Oh, there is no grief like that of mourning a beloved pet. Was Chutney the inspiration behind your euphoria device?
Or perhaps some other condiment.
Better than soap operas. You know what's funny is that little card. If you paid attention to detail while these guys are talking, if you paid attention to detail, you would notice on Helena's card it literally says she brings her own. She brings her own orchestra.
Flip on the machine and find out whether we all feel like we're in love, even if it is just with a cat.
I'm hoping for the warm happiness one feels looking out over the family estate, with a cup of our housekeeper's famous hot chocolate, wearing nothing but a kabuki mask.
So weirdly specific.
So they let you keep the family's estate then, did they?
Sort of. It's mainly used as a film set these days.
Fascinating. I am going to have to stop you there, though, because we are going live to new Advance HQ for a very special message of good luck. Let's go to that now.
Can't stand soap operas. Let's be honest, it sounds good. I shall wonder what it's about
Did you get a
then.
memo from Bozeman?
No, what memo?
I think he's losing his mind. 15 pages about nothing. Literally nothing.
You would think it's
You
nothing.
must have done something to piss him off.
Impossible to say. Often being myself is enough.
Harsh but fair.
So what do you reckon? Do you think it's going to work?
Depends what you mean by work.
Of course it's not going to work. Won't stop thousands of people ringing and claiming that it has.
Need to waste away to Margaritaville? The very thing that Stan Marsh was trying to sell on that South Park episode.
Masturbation joke.
The world is very wrong.
Or rather, not sell, return.
10 seconds, everybody. 5, 4, 3.
Fantastic. The Prime Minister's there. And, of course, without the assets and wealth funding you received...
This machine will still be the deranged scribblings of a snake oil salesman.
Crazy Neil.
Will your machine cure cynicism too, Dr. Magnus?
Didn't Crazy Neil's card say snake oil salesman?
Bless your poor damaged heart. Perhaps you should press the button with me. I have a feeling it'll be the first thing you've done in a long time to make yourself happier.
You know, I could push the button with you. I mean, it would be an honour.
Sorry, sweetie. The general public aren't allowed to make physical contact with you for legal reasons.
Oh, of course.
Aww.
Soft hands, Mr. Donaldson.
I think I think it would have been an affair if we weren't stuck in this time
Say
loop.
the same about yourself.
There it is.
I don't know if you noticed during that, Winston, but at one point they mentioned a mysterious woman for whom Magnus clearly holds a candle. I confess I'm intrigued. What sort of lady could cause such an emotionless man to become so flustered? It's hard to imagine.
I mean, I'd have to agree with you. I'd have to agree with you, Bozeman. Apparently, what it looks like from here is he kind of overreacted when Chester mentioned her. It's kind of one of those moments where he... Did anybody notice that he both got angry and tried to hide his face at some point? Because I feel like that could have been it. Then again, we do have partial information for one of these things, which is unsuccessful blind dates. Now, the easy bit to start with, before we get this next bit of information that we completely missed, is that Magnus has had 122 blind dates, but half of them didn't turn up, and exactly half of 122 is 61. If we try that...
That's correct based on what we have, so maybe we're missing something?
We are definitely missing something, and that's probably what this last guest will probably try to nick out of Magnus for us. Hopefully. And that last guest being...
The scariest thing to come out of a kitchen since Mother Bozeman's infamous chili sorbet.
And we are about to witness the very parody of Mr. Gordon Ramsay himself. Let's go. Really? Donkey? Yes. The maestro.
They're harsh, but undeniably talented, Winston. Mark my words.
You'll see how much this lady, well, this is a man, this is actually identifying as male, but the lady who plays this part, how very close to Mr. Ramsay she
the date my
plays.
childhood sweetheart married my best friend, the age my cat was when I ran him over, the number of conversations I've had with my father, and the exact time my mother walked out. I honestly don't see why that's so hard for you to remember.
If you could just sit here, please, Dr. Magnus. The host and the other guests will be with you shortly.
Thank you. Not you.
Sorry, Dr. Magnus.
Leave that alone, please, Colin.
Is this? Oh, it's just a celebrity chef we have here on Channel 1. Bozeman thought it would add a bit of spice.
Leave that alone, please, Colin.
Leave that alone, please, Colin.
Oh, yeah. I thought so.
What?
Where's the lamb sauce? Yes.
Soap. What doesn't Colin like?
Soap, apparently.
Tell me something I don't know.
Jeremy, Dr. Charles Magnus.
So we've got a doctor and a chef on. All you know, as a priest, we've got the beginnings of a terrible joke. Jeremy Donaldson.
Hold on. I don't believe we've ever met any priests in this game at all.
He's that his career doesn't come with a title.
Chef is hardly a title.
Sorry, I'm late. Problematic paella. This must be Professor Magnus.
Dr. Magnus, apparently.
Oh, either is fine.
10 seconds, everybody.
I'll pause now for ads. Guys, that little bar on the upper right, I was given the opportunity to stay with a friend while in the possibility. I have signed up for a possible registration for Confuzzled 2025. However, living off of nothing but Twitch payouts and Social Security, as well as a mortgage that can literally just fuck my ass right over, I am in the business of just being like, yeah, I don't know if this will actually happen. So, the amount up there is actually going to cover financial expenses relating to travel, and maybe a bit of food, and any extras could cover the stuff I could possibly buy in the Confuzzled Dealer's Den, wherever that may be. If you do have the spare change, type !Confuzzled for the donation link, of which we will be... Speaking of which, I may as well do that now while we're here. There's the link if you guys want to donate directly to me. The only thing that, yeah, perfect. But anyways, the only thing that will be problematic for myself on my end is the fees that go directly to PayPal when you do this. Which is also another savior because that also doesn't send money to Twitch. It only sends money directly to PayPal, which I believe their fees are a little less when compared to Twitch, so which is a real nice gesture if you think about it. But even then, I don't I genuinely don't ask anybody specifically to donate, mainly because I don't want anybody going bankrupt just because of their favorite streamer. If you don't have the change, that is perfectly fine. You don't have to. It's only there for convenience. Thank you in advance for consideration.
It's time for a special event.
Always a good sign.
I beg your pardon.
5, 4, 3, Megan Wolf, and a very special guest.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. It's the 13th of March 1985, and this is a Channel 1 special event hosted by your national nightly news team.
In a laboratory nestled in the sleepy hills of Chittlebury, Dr. Charles Magnus and his optimistically named Happiness Collective have been working on a secret project.
He claims his Euphoria device will raise overall happiness levels throughout the country. And taking him to task tonight will be Channel 1's very own Jordan Rankley.
That's right, Megan. Dr. Magnus may be one of the most distinguished members of his field, such as it is, but we'll still how he handles the searing critique with the best chef in the business.
Winner of 3 golden mustard ladles and 4 filleted flank awards, Jordan is widely considered the sharpest tongue in television. Chef Rankley has inspired tears from actors, politicians, and even florists, though maybe it's just their liberal use of onions.
So with all that coming up, don't touch that dial. Stick with Channel 1 all evening as we bring you
The Night of Smiles.
45 seconds back.
Was that a riff from Kitchen Nightmares?
And it was a classic.
Tell me that was not a riff from Kitchen Nightmares.
We're going to be asking you a few questions.
Could you tell me a bit more about this catering person?
Don't worry, they're here to utter profanities, not provide actual opinions.
Behave. Don't mind him, he needs your machine more than any of us. Dr. Charles Magnus, Jordan Rankley. Jordan, Dr. Magnus.
Nice to meet you. Quick question, Doctor. Are your parents married?
What?
Quickly, we're going live any second.
Well, actually, my mother left when I...
Yes, great.
10
Thank you.
seconds.
Why did you want to know that?
The grating cuts deeper when there's a grain of truth.
Lovely. 5,
Exactly the same
4,
personality as Mr. Ramsey
3.
himself, too.
Welcome back. In just a few minutes, the impressive machine behind me will be activated in the first ever mass test of its type. So let's meet the man behind the merriment, Dr. Charles Magnus.
Hello.
Dr. Charles Magnus.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. And of course, next to you is the one and only Jordan Rankley.
Hello. I've seen better openers on a tin of fucking beef hash.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, a sorry fucking excuse for a doctor.
Dr. Magnus, do tell us how your Euphoria device works.
Oh, well, that's simple. I just get my assistant, Chester, to press the big red button.
You let the sous chef serve the main course. I'd rather French kiss a fisherman's armpits.
Right, yes, well, more specifically, Dr.
I swear to
Magnus,
God.
how exactly is it supposed to make people happier?
Well, some of that information is proprietary, but I could try and outline the basics.
We're running out of time now, Doc, so let's not try to overcook the explanation.
Well, to put it simply, everything is vibration. Everything is vibrating. A particle is also a wave, and a wave is, if you like, a note. And we all vibrate at different notes depending on our mood.
Seriously? You're going for a musical fucking analogy? Fuck off! Do I look like a fucking trombone to you? I'm a chef. Let's keep the metaphors fucking food-based. You blancmange.
Yes.
Yup.
Of course.
I love this parody.
In cooking, we experience flavour through the taste, but also through smell. The olfactory and gustatory components have to work together. They are tasted in harmony. Are you following me?
Well, yes, I think so. Hopefully some of our more culinary-minded viewers
What
are.
the fuck are you on about, mate? You're making about as much sense as a drunk toddler in a washing
Starting to go stinky. I'm not stinky!
You know what? Check the time right now, and I can guarantee your mother has never been more disappointed with you than she is right this second.
Actually, I know for a fact that that isn't true. She made a point of leaving Father and I at the exact time I was born. On my birthday. So that she could write off the whole decade of disappointment as my fault.
What? Racing fan, I was not bad. Hush.
Still, I have to admire her need for accurate timekeeping.
Shitting hell. You've managed to make it pathetic sad rather than pathetic funny. You're unbelievable.
Look, getting.
I do love the Chef Ramsey parody here.
It plays a note.
It's more detailed in this loop.
And all the people and all the animals resonate with that smell and feel happier, noticeably, measurably. At least that's the hope. Right now, I'd give anything to feel a bit happier.
So, what you're saying is that for unprecedented public funding running into the tens of millions, you've built a crockpot that farts out a spag bowl of emotions.
Farts out a spag bowl of emotions.
You know what? We're out of time, actually, Doctor. There's less than a minute to go now, so we will get set up with Chester and our guests over at the Euphoria device. But in the meantime, we will go live to New Advance HQ for a special message from the Prime Ministers Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury.
Okay, so that's about a minute. If we could get you all over to the device now, please.
No hard feelings, eh, Doc?
Make everyone stinky like Jay. It's supposed to make everybody happy. Hush.
Television is more complicated than quantum mechanics, so it would seem.
You'll get used to it with time.
Hopefully not.
Come on, everyone, let's get to our places.
Yes, you wouldn't want to be in the wrong place for the big button push.
So, the actress that plays the chef Jordan Rankley here, it's actually almost exactly as you would see Chef Ramsay. I've seen the YouTube videos of Chef Ramsay, and even he has to crack a smile sometimes, not necessarily on TV like in Hell's Kitchen or Kitchen Nightmares. Essentially, he's actually rude as fuck and actually personal with you when he's on camera, as far as I've seen with his on-camera appearances. But when you go into the interviews and all the other stuff like that, I have a suspicion that he's definitely a much nicer person that he is off-cam. The difference between an on-screen personality and an off-screen personality is the show that is brought on here. And Holly Wilson, the actress that plays Chef Jordan Rankley here, actually does a very good job at portraying the difference between the on-screen and off-screen personalities.
Whatever would we do? Might throw off all the science.
It might work. Lovely, looking great. Okay, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3.
Fantastic, the Prime Minister's there, and of course, without the assets and wealth funding you received.
We'd still be making prototypes out of bread sticks.
Nice pun.
You must be Chester.
Come on, let's get on with it. We're pressing the button or we're tongue-fucking each other. Shit! Enough with the foreplay!
Well, I suppose we may as well see if this ridiculous contraption actually works. Shall we?
Yes, I suppose.
Fucking do it!
I just need a few seconds to set up and we'll be good to go.
You know what? Come here. Come.
Come on.
We're going. Fuck off! Just fuck right off! Oh, fucking presents!
Welp.
Well, you know what they say. If at first you don't succeed, throw everything together and hope for the best.
Throw everything together and hope for the best, huh? So you're definitely saying some crazy-ass idea? Ah, yes! If you can't do it with one, let's try going everyone and see what the chaos could bring!
Yes, hurrah!
What kind of chaos could we come up with here, is my question. Let's find out ourselves, shall we?
Yes, a packed set. Let's see what this motley crew can dig up for us.
Not Jeff, I know, right?
Like a musical bolognese down there.
I've told you 1,000
I
times.
can't possibly fit you all in. Some of you are going to have to stand at the back. I don't know what Bosun was thinking bringing all these people.
Something devilishly cunning, Jenny, don't you worry.
Dr. Magnus.
How many mics do you think I have?
You wouldn't know exactly a thing about what Bozeman's mind is like with these things.
Christ, it's a convention of the desperate.
I think the collective noun is a disappointment.
So, Mr. James, what would you say is your greatest fear? And let's keep it light, eh?
Oh, that's a good one. I think the thing I fear the most is the consequence of my enormous intellect. Me too, as it happens.
This broadcast just goes so stinky, the blueberry's gone rotten. How dare you?
Clowns features anywhere too?
Actually, I'm scared of clowns. My father took me to the circus and it was very traumatic. After I'd finished sobbing, we had our second conversation. I remember.
Yes.
I was 22.
Oh, poor man. Circuses are atrocious places. I fight for animals every day.
Dreadful places? Absolute nonsense. The smell of the sawdust, the lights, the music, the terrified roars of the broken animals. What's not to love?
Sorry, I'm late. Enormous queef. Jenny, we didn't
And
know
you're-
how many
what?
guests we were booking today, did we?
I think so.
It's a bit last minute. Just didn't have enough seats. I spoke to Bozeman.
10 seconds.
It's
He
time
laughed.
for a
Just
special
laughed.
event.
I did. It's true.
Schedule away for a
5,
night of smiles.
Oh.
with
4,
Jeremy Donaldson,
3.
Megan Wolf, and a smorgasbord of extremely special guests.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeff Algebra.
I'm Alan J.
No.
And I'm Dr. Charles Magnus. Your turn, Chester.
Chester Mims, 24.
Oh, goodness.
My favourite sounds are the pop of bubble wrap, the laughter of a badger, and of course.
You like Skeletor's laugh.
Well, seems to be the thing we're doing.
My name's Helena Canterbury Boatshoe, and I'd rather not say my age.
Typical
my
women.
My favourite sounds are empathy, humility, and humanity.
I quite like farts.
Well, I enjoy the sizzling of a steak, and of course, the subs liberated.
Oh, that silly squeaky voice you get when you inhale helium.
How dare you?
What?
How dare you bring up that double proton bastard in my presence?
Yes, I'm afraid Dr. Magnus had a very bad experience with him.
Colourless, odourless, tasteless, pointless.
The fuck?
During our second application for funding back before Advance, we were demonstrating a prototype and we chose to use helium as the catalyst. And of course, it started escaping from the machine.
Couldn't see it, couldn't smell it, couldn't taste it.
And Dr. Magnus's voice slowly started rising in pitch, which we all thought was terribly amusing, but I'm afraid he didn't quite
She's like,
see
I'm
the
done
funny
here.
side of
It's
it.
dead to me. I've scratched it off every periodic table in the building. It does not exist. Pointless monotonic prick. I hope it all gets split, and I don't care if it takes every single one of humanity with it as it goes.
The Night of Smiles.
Interesting.
5 seconds back. Okay, so we're overrunning a little bit, so if we can keep it tight in the next section, otherwise we won't get to the button press.
She's like, I'm
Sorry,
done here.
think
I know,
might have
right?
got us a bit off track there.
Really? Jeff, do you think so?
I quite like the smell of parsnips.
Oh, a much underrated vegetable, the parsnip. Great in a roast dinner, in a casserole.
Night of Smiles, more like Night of Chaos. It is chaos. The intro for this one was the chaos.
A man who can cook a souffle suggests a gentle touch.
Hello, I can cook a souffle. I've got a 5 out of 7 success rate. The secret's in the whisking.
Oh, Chester, you're delightful little puppy.
10 seconds.
I'll do better this time.
Please. Going in 5, 4.
Sounds like what happens with another streamer. Who knows? Where's Crazy Neil? He's gonna come in.
It's just a few minutes until the impressive machine behind me is activated.
Whoa!
There he is.
Hold up! I've got my own device!
Of course, he brings his joyous jubilation device.
Little man from the commercial.
Crazy Deal's the name, Crazy Deal's the game. I'm so sorry I'm late. It's really difficult to get that thing up 31 flights of stairs.
2 devices.
Indeed.
Double the risk. It's all in my new book. Alan J. Oh, shit, sorry. Excuse me. Drop my tiny book.
That's the cost of you having such a small book.
Are either of you two even real scientists? Who actually even are you?
I'm a scientist. I can prove it. Chester, if you please.
Oh, right, yes.
That's what you get for having such a tiny ass book, Alan.
You're an actor. You read it out.
Right, you are.
Oh, of course he's singing.
Charles Magnus, born January 1st. New Year baby. 19.
Come on, shut
something.
up.
I can't read that without my glasses. At 7:43 p.m. Race Caucasian. Gender difficult to discern. Here we are. Birthmarks. 2.
Can we shut?
Thigh in the shape of an.
Okay, I need to mute my mic for a sec before anything happens. That was Foxy's fault.
Yup, we're good. We got it. Blech. Don't hit the what the F boom.
Justin! Oh my god, that was perfectly timed too!
Oh my god.
Clip that!
Oh my god.
Next we have, if you could fart to the melody of one song, it would be blank.
What?
Oh, what the actual fuck?
Are you?
Let's see next one.
What the fuck?
Fuck.
Let's go for it.
Ooh, please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Oh, thank you, Jesus. R in Jesus.
Where's the leak,
Little
ma'am?
shit. Oh, thank you.
I'm so confused.
I couldn't see.
God.
What Jalen looks like without glasses? You're really curious, aren't you? You are very curious. Man likes to really sing obnoxiously loud, doesn't he?
Accordion, and the second on the right buttock in the shape of a smaller buttock.
Oh, we're doing birthmarks, are we? Well, Crazy Neil's got a whole bunch of them. Feast your eyes on this.
Thank you,
Neil?
Mr. Neil. That's no need for that.
Wow. Neil was getting frisky there, wasn't he?
Tell us how your machine works, please.
Well, you see, I'd love to tell you, but, you know, there's a whole bunch of tricks.
if you want.
No!
Right you are.
Well, it's all about vibration, really. It's the melody of humanity.
Oh, you're a poet, darling. The ladies must adore you.
Not really.
Yes, I've been logging Dr. Magnus's romantic engagements for years. For science, obviously. I'm a scientist. And every single one of them, without a doubt, has been an unmitigated disaster.
And there were 22 other failed attempts even before he started.
Nonsense.
Oh gosh,
Don't
yes,
think so.
yes. Do we count them?
I do.
But none of them even showed up.
Got it! It was hard to see.
Fuck's sake, Alan. I wouldn't even hire you to work at a circus. You're a clown, Alan. A fucking clown!
Actually, it's me who's afraid
Things
of
are about to start
clowns.
getting crazy, go
Remember?
nuts. Yes.
It's the last time I had a conversation with my father.
Right, well, you're a fucking clown and all. Who ever heard of making people happy with vibrations?
Well, one of the ex-Mrs.
No, I
Neil's
think
used
we've had time there, aren't we?
Yeah, we are out of time.
Absolutely.
Let's
We
just
have,
get
Jeremy.
this
There's
over
less
with.
than a minute to go now, so while we get everyone set up at the Euphoria device, let's go over to the Prime Minister's at Advance HQ for a very special message.
Okay, so that's about a minute back. Lovely stuff. If we could get you all over to the device now, please.
So, this trip to the circus with your father would make an excellent scene in the TV
you
show,
sure,
don't
Jeff?
you think? A dark
Ren, how
night
you
in
doing? So good to see you.
1922.
No, it was 1956. I was...
Fantastic.
Yes,
That's
but we're
everything
set
we
it in
need.
1922.
Let's freeze time
It'll
when
play
you're
better
ready
in
and
black and
solve
white, don't
this
you think?
damnable combination
I'll
lock.
possibly get your phone number.
Absolutely not.
Fucking brutal.
Like one of your dates, eh, Chaz?
Actually, it's Dr. Charles Magnus. I wrote the paper on theories of theorizing in a theoretical universe.
That sounds useful. Yeah, well, I wrote a small play called Hey Friendship. Perhaps you've heard of it.
Of course he has.
Of course I haven't.
Going in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Fantastic. The Prime Minister's there, and of course, without the assets and wealth funding you received.
From the corruptive!
Come on, let's get on with it and press the fucking button already.
Should we all do it together?
We sure?
What a wonderful idea.
Chest Magnus!
Oh, don't worry about him. Let's all get on with it.
Hang on, what about my device?
Be honest, Mr. Neil, is it even
Is he really doing this again on me?
Actually, I'm not quite sure what's gone into it, so...
Watch out, here comes Grubby Jeff. Oh, that's what they say in the staff room. I think it's affectionate.
Sure it is. Should we get a timer? Oh, a counter on the screen. That's it. Excellent. And we are going in 10, 9.
He's doing it again behind the screen. You can't even hear it.
Come on, Alan.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's Groundhog Day.
Well. I think we've done it, Winston. From here, I think we can work it out. Time to get that lock open. Then we can fix that machine and solve this whole time loop conundrum once and for all. And of course, if you're getting really stuck, select any of the red headings and I'll have a go.
I'll need a minute first before we do this, so give me a sec. I'll be right back. I just gotta tell off my brother-in-law again. Going on in! You guys are heckin' amazing beans, and I cannot wait. So probably never fart again. I really am just scared to say this right now. Chat, may I have some hypers because Seb Espresso is our first millionaire!
Oh my god!
Let it be heard all around the world.
not a newt has won $1 million.
You're damn right!
What Jalen looks like without glasses? You're really curious, aren't you? You are very curious. That's why I like the glasses. It's just a character builder. You know what I mean? I swear to God, did that go through the mic?
She can't bite me, that's for sure.
Dances I have on here are the Fortnite dances. And maybe
Yes,
this.
I mean...
Have a glitch dances.
Badger, do the badger, man. Do the badger.
A1.
A1, according to you, Buffy. What? Said it does not matter how slowly you go, so long as you don't stop. No.
There goes our PG-13 rating.
Indeed. Indeed.
I am so glad
Let's get
we
back
didn't
into
get-
this and solve this damn thing. We should be done. Let's try and solve this, and then we'll get to the end of it. So let's start solving this and see what we can do. I'm not gonna actually touch any of the labels, so let's just get this over with. I think the first one I'm gonna start with is the chats with Dad, because that one is a dead giveaway, it looks like. More PhDs than conversations. That's an easy one to give up because that kind of narrows it down a little bit. Specifically, more so because he has 3 PhDs, which narrows it down to two possible choices, given that he has had conversations with his father at some point. Now, he mentions in this particular broadcast his second conversation with his father being the circus one. So it's evidently stated that it has 2 conversations, and that was the giveaway that we were given here. So, for our number 5, we're going to just put down 2, and there it is. Now, the next one is another giveaway, which is a time the mother walked out on the 10th anniversary of the time of birth of Dr. Magnus. The time of birth, as stated by Jeff Algebra through the birth certificate, was 7:43 p.m. Now, for this one, I'm actually going to reserve the right to 2 attempts at this. I'm going to attempt once with standard time, and then another with 24-hour time. So let's start with the standard. Okay, so let's try the other one, 1943, 24-hour format. There it is. Now, let's see what the next one is. I know a little bit of simple math, so let's do the blind dates next, which is 122 blind dates in total. Half of them didn't show up. But that was all when Chester and Magnus started counting those number of dates, which did not count any other ones. We tried 61, that didn't work. Apparently, there were others that weren't counted when they started counting, which these 22 extra no-shows tells us. So, and those 22 extras were not counted originally. Alice has a good point here. The number here would be, for unsuccessful blind dates, being the number 83. And that is indeed correct. The next one I'm going to look at is the number of worrying lumps. We first thought it was 29, however, that turned out to be wrong. This hint that we actually got from Magnus's incessant yelling when Jeff Algebra actually brought up helium is one of those cases of, hey, you don't like it? Get rid of it. So Magnus doesn't even count helium, which means that it's actually not 29, it's actually the next number down, 28. Now, tragic marriage. Now, Kat's age is the next one. I'll deal with the tragic marriage date at the very end. Don't worry about that. So, Cat's age, starting from the date of this broadcast, 1985. He ran it over. We don't have the exact information about year of birth up until the point he mentions he was 22 at the circus. He was 22 years old. So that circus trip in 56 indicates that the year of birth is 1934. Now, he bought a cat 12 years ago, but ran over on the 45th birthday. So, if I'm to consider this correctly, the 13th of March, 1985, we do 85 minus 12, and that gives us 1973 was the cat purchase. So 1973 was the cat purchase. He was 22 at the circus in 56. And 45 years old from 1934 gives us 1979, which the run over in 79 versus the purchase on 73 makes the cat age 6. Perfect. And then the last one, the tragic marriage date. So, Magnus's father died on the day they visited the circus, which apparently Bozeman originally stated that it was on his birthday. Now, that anniversary of Magnus's dad's death, the tragic marriage date, was 5 years later. The circus trip was in 56. So, we can easily get first four numbers out of that just by stating that because of the birthday, it goes 0101. And this doesn't matter because this actually works both ways. If you write the date with the month first or the day first, this part doesn't matter. So this one can be interchangeable. But the important bit is 5 years after the circus trip in 56, being 1961. And with that...
Okay, Alex, we did it! What a good little stooge you make. Now, as I said before, the instructions say the core workings of the relay machine all revolve around the wire sets. Apparently, there are 2 sets, one group of 3 on the left and one group of 4 on the right. Let me just read you the instructions here. To change the output function, take one wire from the left-hand variant number group and swap it to the right-hand departmental register group. Attention! Do not, under any circumstances, swap wires in the same group. The relay device has a very specific configuration, and deviating from the instruction provided in this handbook could result in unintended, disastrous consequences. Noted. Well, that seems clear enough. Try picking up one of the wires now, Alex.
And unfortunately, in this build-up of suspense, that's unfortunately going to be where I stop. So, I will be back to this next week with a second part of this Timeloop DLC. Apparently, the playtime for this DLC is actually around 4 to 5 hours, and because of how late I started, it just makes sense for me to shut off now before my family gets, upset that I'm staying up too late, or even being too loud for them, versus my brother-in-law being too loud on energy drinks.
Good evening, I'm Meg.
So I will definitely be back to this next week for another round of the Timeloop. So guys, thank you all so much for coming on in. Nadja Bob, so I do this. You guys are so heckin' sweet, so heckin' fresh. I could not have asked a better audience like yourselves. Stick around with us and drop in a little rate, but before we do, Wall of Love coming on in with Mars Hater, aka 18 Loon, for the raid, as well as Axel Halford with the solo raid. Thank you guys so much for being your awesome selves, heckin' sweet beans. And Tech Salvi 47, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Blueberry Barker Squad. Didn't I do it for you? When all I do is for you, Alice. I'm going to assume that, Alice has a raid target in mind. Actually, I have someone else in mind. Because funny thing is, you say your raid target first, and I'll consider my options. Because the one I'm going into actually has played this game before. Not necessarily the DLC I'm playing, but has played this game before. Bond Wolf shenanigans? What is Bond doing? Is he doing his community night? He is doing his community night. I'm actually going to pass on that for tonight. I might come back to it at a later time. I might just pop in after going into this one, because it kind of makes sense for me to go into somebody who actually understands and knows what this game is about. We're going to go into a Yeen, a local Yeen bud. I've actually met this bean many times at Megaplex. More recently, this year. Funny thing, I actually met him at the elevators. He was on the same floor for his room, so there's that. And he's also back from Megaplex a couple of times before, which actually works out in the sense. So I guess we can just go over and give him the same love, because I've also mentioned the same game that he's playing. Let's go ahead and give our wonderful love to the wonderfully awesome, laughing, currently playing Astrobot. Here's our raid message we're going out with, guys. Make sure you copy-paste that into my chat so I know you're ready for the raid. If you don't have my love emotes, you are free to use your own. But if you stole my love emotes, go ahead and unlock what channel points down below. The redeem is called Choose Emote to unlock. Once unlocked, it is yours for 24 hours. And on that note, guys, you guys go ahead and give Laughin' Yeen, the amazing Blueberry Worker, love that you guys give me every single stream. Love you guys so fucking much. You guys are looking amazing. Keep being your awesome selves, and I shall see you guys on Sunday. We'll be playing What the Dub. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. As always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. A little more for the road.